It's Thursday night, and you know what that means. It's more League of Legends here on Esports Wales on Twitch. My name is Toki and I'm here joined by the upcoming producer and upcoming colorcaster king. Okay, maybe I'm giving you too much credit here, but it is old Gizmo. How are you doing today, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm a little bit stressed about the production.
It's Thursday night,
You
and you
know,
know what understandable. that means. It's
oh,
more League of Legends here on
already messed
Esports.
up by the fact that I had you in the background. I had the
Yeah,
stream in the background, so it already looked back through. But it's okay because production. That's the first mess up. So for the rest of the stream, it'll be fine.
exactly. You might as well mess it up early, so that the rest of the stream is only going to be better. Positive karma and all that.
Yeah, that's why I
But
never do
that's
opens. But yeah, you get on to.
Exactly, because it would just get back. This is why I do it, Gizmo. This is why we talked about this beforehand. I should do the openings, but anyway, before we get into anything, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a very important series here for Team Tan Esports Wales. Of course, they will be facing off against Prime Nebula, who in the regular season haven't lost a single game. It's going to be a tough opponent, Gizmo.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Esports Wales have been looking strong coming into this. They have been performing decently well. They have lost their two biggest games against, I think, the people already in the winners bracket. I think they're the ones poised for the finals. So this
Yeah.
game is massive, right? So if Tan loses this game, they're out of the running here, right? They win it, they're through to the finals.
Everything is basically on the line in this one, and there's obviously loads of things that I want to talk about here. We'll just see when we are able to get into the game very soon. But Prime Nebula undefeated in the regular season. However, they have lost 2-0 to Ronin Myra, which is a team that Team Tan have played against before, of course, also in their group phase. They managed to go 2-1, lost it unfortunately, but managed to take a game against Ronin Myra. I'm pretty sure we cast that game as well, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was
Um,
close series, honestly, back
it
and
was a
forth.
pretty close series, yeah, and like I think it showed that Ronin Myra were like better prepared or just playing better as a team, but I don't think Team Tan didn't stand a chance against them. And the fact that they just beat Prime Nebula 2-0 to get Prime Nebula here is probably a good sign for Team Tan.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have some confidence coming into that and knowing that, especially considering how close those games were. I remember they were very back and forth, very close. So they were able to take one game off, I honestly think Tan could have taken it 2-0 really if they focused a bit harder. So seeing that coming into these games, surely that puts you in great standing, knowing that that these people just got wiped out by the team that you could have taken the series off of. So yeah, great standing for Team Tan.
Yeah. Now, obviously, there is a thing where, like it could be just an on the day thing where maybe Team Tan overperformed or perhaps Prime Nebula underperformed in the winners bracket, of course. But everything considered, it's looking pretty decent here for the side of Team Tan. Now, this is one thing that I am always wondering about because Team Tan, they went 4-3 in the regular season, which is, it's not anything special. It's all right? Like 4-3,
Yeah,
they
it's
managed
not
to
bad.
take playoffs. It's fine. Prime Nebula 7-0, as I already said before. Do you think that Prime Nebula's recent loss will affect them more than, for example, Team Tan would? Because of the fact that Prime Nebula, obviously, they haven't lost at all in the regular season. So now coming off of a loss, would that crush the mental of a team now that you're in losers bracket?
Well, we don't know, do we? Because they haven't had to go through that yet. They haven't had to actually recover
Exactly.
at all, which is a massive thing, especially when you consider how Tan have bounced back in some of those games. They have been able to take. When we were talking about that win against Rona, I think it was the second game, so they were able to bounce back from a loss, coming back from that. So I think mentally, Team Tan are there able to come back from losses, but we haven't been able to see that from Prime at all because they haven't been in the circumstance to be there. So maybe, if Tan do take that first game, we will be able to see their chance of claiming back that mental edge. But honestly, it's out in the open.
Yeah, it really is out in the open. And I'm going to put out something maybe controversial, perhaps, because we got Group A and Group B, of course. Group A is where Team Tan came from. Group B is where Prime Nebula came from and went undefeated in. Can we potentially say, now obviously it's you never really fully know, but can we potentially say that Group A might be stronger than Group B, considering we see, the first seed of Group B already in losers bracket?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's a close one, honestly. Sorry, there's
It's okay.
stuff going on in the background. I'm trying to
Normally,
sort out.
producing and casting at the same time is not
Hey,
really how it's
it
done.
doesn't
So
always
you
happen.
got to respect the Gizmo. A little applaud to him. It's difficult. It's a difficult time, but it's something that like I feel like you can't really say things like that as easily as normal, because it's like saying, oh, Team X beats Team Y, but Team Y beat Team Z. So Team Z surely will lose against Team X. But obviously that is not necessarily the case. Like, it could be. But teams could be good against a specific playstyle, right? Like maybe Team Tan are really good playing against teams that like to split push, for example, or Prime Nebula are maybe good against teams who are unprepared for their stuff, because that is the feeling I'm starting to get when it comes to Prime Nebula, because they have a weird kind of top lane, to say the least, right? Because they apparently, at least to what we've been able to find, they play enchanters in the top lane. We don't really see that a lot in this meta.
Yeah, I mean it's the LS special move to the top lane really, and
I was gonna say, because that's mid, right?
I mean it works in all roles, right? But it is that crazy enchanter meta in that top lane. I just kicked my camera. I am sorry.
I saw that. Yeah.
Either way, I mean it is great to see, right? I think it's sometimes a bit more of a cheesy strat, but yeah, it's kind of hard. I think it'll be okay. I think it's completely fine at the end of the day, but it can be exploited kind of hard.
Yeah. I wonder if you agree with me here, but I do think those kind of things, those kind of tactics that aren't really used by loads of teams around the world, to me, it feels like those are the tactics that are amazing in best of ones, right? Because when you are in a best of one situation, you can just, surprise the opposing team that you're playing against and take the win and just leave, right? You won't have to face them again, at least not in the Valanth League, because every team faces each other once in the group stage. So now that they are, of course, in the best of 5 situation, even the best of 3, of course, before when they lost against Ronin, I feel like those kind of tactics become a little bit more difficult. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, I mean, you've really sort of thrown out the playbook of the best of 3, right? When you come to these
Yeah.
best of 5s, because there is that extra level of, hey, should I keep that pick? Because it's not just a 2-0 and done. It's a bit more risky. So it is that extra level of hardness there, right? Like, are you going to keep back some pocket picks? It's just some of those, those cheesy things. Maybe you want to keep those back, or maybe you just want to use them early and then come in harder later on with some more, normalized comps. You have time to adjust in a best of 5. You have time to think about stuff, because these games can go on for quite a long time.
Yeah, and I feel like if there's any team that could be good at that, it should actually be Team Tan, because I feel like these guys, they have so many picks to go around. I feel like it's incredibly difficult to ban these guys out, because we can literally talk about the support, right? He's already got we've got Mars with so many champions that he's already played. He's recently been pulling out the Blitzcrank a hell of a lot. Like, I wonder if that's going to be considerably, considered to be a ban, for example. We have Zandia, who plays the meta AD carries, but perhaps except for Aphelios, I can handshake it as Zandia, because I don't want to play that champion either. Harry in the mid lane, I mean, has been phenomenal this season, to say the least, because this guy has been extremely, extremely consistent. And of course, Selene and Zephyr also have a champion Ocean almost. So I feel like this should be Team Tan's place to be.
Yeah, I mean they're in great standing. They have had that teamwork as well built up over 2 splits at this point. They are really in good place here, and we have seen that teamwork come through in the later game, team shot calling and stuff like that, to be able to come back from these deficits that they have sometimes gotten into. The way we're getting into draft.
Oh, here we go. So, oh yeah, now I see that. Now, for Nuffle, a quick question. I'm guessing will be. Oh no, okay, yes, for Nuffle will be to the mid lane. Okay, this is all just how it is. Okay,
Yep.
I just needed to refresh my mind for a second there, because in the prep we had something different, but that doesn't matter right now. We already see the first bans coming in. Renata definitely targeted towards Crown, and we see some jungle / top lane bans, but knowing Zephyr, these are probably put towards the jungle.
Yeah, and I mean Zephyr has been really strong in that jungle role. He has been able to land these. He does play these heavy gank jungle styles, these CC picks, and I do think getting rid of that trundle that he has fallen back onto a lot. Oh my god! And the game has that they've just
Production. Hey, look. If anything, it looks
But-
so much better now, right? It looks so much better now.
it looks better, but I mean, okay, it's what happened there wasn't actually us. That was just them leaving the champ select. Okay, but otherwise,
Oh, okay.
otherwise it looked really clean. Obviously you can't see that because we're having some. We have the spectator being full by the coaches of the other team,
Unfortunately.
which is a little bit rough. I'm not gonna lie, but either way,
No Discord screen share, I guess. Sadly.
They
Is there a
don't.
possibility that we can actually ask that, by the way? Like, I know I shouldn't necessarily be asking on stream, but like, is there a potential way we can ask that? I mean, I guess it's too late now, is it? No, it's not, maybe.
I don't know. We can try and
Could
arrange it
could you
for
yeah, could
next
you
game.
maybe could you yeah, yeah, or like just maybe just ask them and see if like, oh, could you like Discord screen share with your team or something? Like, I would ask, but I can't because I'm not there right
I
now.
mean,
But we're getting ourselves back.
they could be casting it themselves. We're not sure. Either way,
Potentially, yeah. We'll
uh,
have to see.
we are into champ select again. The clean looking champ select. I mean, this is taking some effort to work in, uh,
No, I see it.
and it does
It
look
looks
clean.
sick.
It does look clean. So yeah, look at the bands coming through here. It is a bit different to what people are used to, but I mean, I like it.
Yeah, you know, you don't see the typical kind of bans coming in towards, for example, the jungle role or the mid lane role rather, and the AD carry role, right? Like we've seen loads of Jinx and the Felios bans coming in all over pro play to really make sure that, or at least one of the two, obviously, so that they can first pick the other kind of thing. But right now, Ezreal being banned, again, these seem to be target bans towards the comfort picks of Prime Nebula here.
Yeah, and it does make some sense here, right? Because when we look at Team Tan, they do have that rock in the bot lane that is Zandia and Mars. You know, Zandia is usually left on this side lane, so I feel like if you take away the Ezreal pick, you sort of take away some of the safety of the Nebula bot lane. So if they do decide to commit hard to this bot side, play Ram Zandia a bit harder, they can very easily. Looks like they're taking out the Jinx ban as well, so they really want a strong bot side this game, which makes a lot of sense, you know, when they have been, you know, playing up towards this top side. Maybe this time they want to play down to this hyper carry bot lane. Karma
Yeah.
first pick. Oh, I hate it.
Carl
But,
first pick. And you don't even know where it's going to go. That's the worst part, right? Because this could just be sent towards the top lane when it's for Prime Nebula.
or even in the mid lane, you know, it is that
Yeah.
Lexia's pick. It can go to any role, and it's so frustrating to play against. You know, you are able to put in that like tank in that top side, and all of a sudden she can just mantra W you whenever, just all of a sudden heal all the way back up to full HP. She's able to poke out all the time with her Q, and she also
Ooh.
looks like the Zeri's getting locked in for straight away. I mean, it's a Zeri's just ever at the moment. Let's be fair, we've seen it in pro play. Everything is just shredding through people. I find the early just a little bit weaker on it, but overall, you know, that late game is very strong.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. It's just it surprised me mainly because I personally at least have not seen Zandia on this Zeri just yet. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he's going to be able to pull that off. But as you really said, right, Zandia is that rock in the bot lane who's very consistent throughout this whole season. So if you can consistently have a good lane with Zeri as well, you will be able to get to that late game and you will be able to become that menace. But speaking of an absolute menace, the Hecarim is being locked in. Pretty much the strongest jungler, I think, right now at the moment. And Jhin, well, to be fair, when we've looked at Levity, it seems like he plays 3 AD carries the most, which is Ezreal, Jinx, who got banned. Jhin is the one that remains open.
You got to go back to your fullback. Comfort is key in these sorts of tournaments, right? You know,
Hell yeah.
we aren't talking about the highest levels. We're talking, you know, this is a plant level tournament. So if you get that comfort in, it can just do wonders. I mean, meta means everything until you can't play the champion, right? So yeah, it looks like the Blitzcrank is going to get locked straight into Mars. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it so many times. It is just that one hook wonder of just it can just flip a game on its head. It doesn't matter how far behind you are. A hook on that ADC, it's just game over, really. And I personally dislike the champion, but I feel like in the way that they play, it fits Ten so well.
Yeah, it just really does. And it just fits Mars so well as well. This guy just roams around and goes almost for every hook that he can see. Like we've seen him in the last series that they played. I forgot exactly who it was against, but he just walked into the enemy jungle, had no team behind him, went for a hook, got like the knock up, and then he just had to run away because there's no one there. It's like this guy loves this Blitzcrank, and it's so exciting to see him play on it.
There's
But
Jisuke
we
as
do see
support.
exactly. It's literally the Jisuke of support. But the top lane bans are also coming in now. We see the Kill and the Camille being taken away. So, well, of course, Kill, you could potentially send it towards the mid lane, but it's mainly seen in the top lane. Yone, definitely a target ban towards Fanoffel.
Yeah, and I mean, we were doing some research before this, and Vinoffel seems to have a playstyle towards either the Yone or the Victor. So, oh, it looks like they're just going to take away the Victor, because I assumed that that was going to be just Harry taking the Victor there. We have seen him fall back on it a lot, so looks like they're going to take that pick away from him. Maybe they prepared something, because, you know, a counter thinking that the Yone was going to get taken away here. That or it was
Does
just...
that give you the sense that it could be a Vladimir coming out here for Fanoffel?
It could be a Vlad, yeah, that is the other champion, so I completely forgot about the Vlad. So if you are Team Tan, what are you thinking as a counter pick here? It looks like it's going to be the Orianna, just strong and dependable, leaving that counter pick for Zephyr in that top side, which is fair because I mean Zephyr has
Yeah.
been doing some good work when he has got those counter picks, and they have been really strong. So I do like to see that, but they are hovering the Fiora at this point, which is his strongest, I say one of his strongest champions. He has been
Both
popping
of
up.
Key and Zephyr.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I completely forgot about the prep work. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
complete and utter, yeah.
Oh wow, but it's a crazy pick though because you don't really see a Fiora blind picked usually, right? Like you tend to see something like pick up the Gnar, pick up the Ornn, pick up something safe that is always going to be fine in the top lane, whether you win or lose. Fiora needs to win that lane. If you get behind on a Fiora, you could be in trouble. Now, I'm going to be very, very excited to see what Zephyr's going to pick against this, and of course, what will be sent over towards this potential mid lane or support role if this spike is going to be locked in, which is, pretty comfort pick as well for Crown. That means the Karma is going to be sent over towards the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, makes some sense. It does
Yeah.
mean that it is that safer lane, especially when you have had your main pick spanned out here. You are able just to fall back on that enchanted, the Cloud9 style. I do like Pyke here. It is very aggressive. I feel like it can suffer quite well, like quite heavily into the Blitzcrank because you never have any HP, so any hook will just kill you. But you will be able to match that roaming playstyle that Mars likes to play. That Pyke, it can just be anywhere with that WE combination. You can just get over any wall and everything like that. And then we can talk about the extra gold that his ulti can bring. Every kill, you can generate an extra 600 gold on top of that, which is good for your team to get snowballing. It's bad in the long term for the bounty system. So you have to think about when you're using it and who you're using it on if you really want to stop those bounties coming through and hitting you hard late game.
Absolutely, and that does do it for the compositions that we got going here. The Gnar is the final pick coming in here for Zephyr. Pretty much seems to me like a very safe pick to make sure that lane is at least not going to lose. And it also tells me that Team Tan are looking to play around this bot mid side, right? Obviously, mainly probably towards the bot lane because Orianna is very difficult to gank early on. Due to the fact that you don't really have any reliable CC. So expecting actually here, when I look at both these compositions, it looks to me like I don't really know how I'm going to call him, but I'm just going do I call him number 75? Either way, that's a lot of numbers. We'll say 7 for now. At
We
least
just call them numbers. Just numbers. We'll just call them
numbers.
numbers.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll say numbers. That's a good idea because yeah, we didn't get
Compromise.
that far. We didn't even think numbers was going to play, but it looks to me like numbers wants to probably look towards this top lane when you have that Fiora and try to really set that up for this split push menace that she can be, and the side of Team Tan probably looking towards the bot lane. So this could be a very jungle split matchup.
Yeah, and I'd like to see how Zephyr gets ahead in this top lane on that Gnar. If the Fiora can get on him when he is that switchy Gnar, can burst through very heavily. But obviously then he does have the range advantage. So it'll be about how fast he's able to snowball that lead, because they do have that comp that will want to play for those team fight situations. Whereas, you look at the side of Nebula and their team is like, hey, we have a Karma mid who can just always get wave push, and then we'll just follow Hecarim around, speeding him up the whole time. That is the key to this LS Cloud9's playstyle that he created, is just to protect the jungler in any situation, right? So if Numbers gets ahead, I feel like the early game is in a lot of trouble, but I feel like Tan's late game is just so strong and has so many comeback opportunities.
Yeah, it seems like they just need to once again kind of like wait it out, right? And that's kind of the funny part about this Blitzcrank pick, because if there's one thing that we've seen Mars unable to do is wait it out. This guy likes to play, he likes to go crazy, especially on a pick like the Blitzcrank. But as you said, he might have to look towards toning it down a little bit in this one.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit, but I will say the Blitzcrank does have some interesting features that will come out in this game. It'll be like the timing of the R, because obviously the R will shred through shields. And look at the other side, you have a Karma who's
Yeah.
just going to mantra E for that massive shield. So if he's able to time an ulti with that, all of a sudden that massive ability that is, a crazy shield of like 400 will just be taken out of the game. So I feel like there's a lot of responsibility on him there to land that consistently. On the other side, you do have, the Zeri who will just be able to constantly poke, get that movement speed. And so far, you look at the side of Nebula, they don't have consistent CC to stop this. The Zeri, once she does get to that ulti off, that massive amount of movement speed, massive amount of auto attack speed, the only hope you have is just a pike hook into some sort of stun. Like that's so hard to land on Azeri.
Yeah, it looks like, based on what you said, right, the early mid game is going to be very much decided by obviously the junglers, but also the supports, because, as you said, Crown really is going to have to step up because you have an Orianna, you have a Zeri, both champions. Well, Orianna's obviously much easier to catch, but also you kind of need to catch it because if you have an Orianna sitting in the backline doing and stuff, especially when it's Harry playing her, could be absolutely devastating. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see if Crown can shut down Zandia because, as we said, Zandia is that rock in this bot lane, and it's going to be very important for him to play well this game because I feel like if Zandia falls behind, the side of Team Tân are in an absolute huge amount of trouble.
Yeah, and I will say, Nebula's team comp is ridiculously snowbally. You have that pipe,
Yeah.
you have the Hecarim Karma mid laner that is just going to be able to just constantly invade all the time. It's going to be very hard for Tam not to go behind early, but the good thing is they do have that late game comp that they can just rely on. So if they don't give up too much, if they're able, maybe they get the luck of, giving up a couple Drakes and it being a Cloud Soul, So some luck on the early game. I think when it comes to that late game team fight, that 25, 30-minute team fight, I feel like it's just Tan if they come in near even state.
Yeah, for sure. Now we are going to get ourselves into the game very, very soon. It looks like we might be ready now. Obviously, unfortunately, this is just for the people watching. I am going to be a little bit delayed personally, so it might affect the cast a tiny bit. That's just an unfortunate circumstance that we don't really have the power to deal with at the moment. Unless I am somehow able to spectate, but I don't think that is the case. Oh my god, I am. Hold up. We might have just saved it,
It might have.
Hold up, that would be insane if that's possible.
It would be, but at the moment, like I'm stuck on the black screen bug, which is brilliantly fun.
Brilliant.
So,
Yeah.
So I might have to.
Right Klein likes to help us cast us out, don't they?
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to reconnect already, which is great fun.
Oh, I got black screen too. Brilliant. We
we love
Riot games, guys.
We love this.
We love Riot.
It gets improved. I'm expecting, Riot's response to this is going to release a nice new Lux skin.
Oh yes, we needed more of those for sure.
Okay, hopefully we can get back into this game and it won't be too long because otherwise, things are going to get quite rough. It'll have to turn into like a radio broadcast or something.
Yeah,
something.
Gonna look at our faces while we talk about this game. I mean,
what should happen?
It's two beautiful faces to look at, if anything. But it works for me.
Yeah, one cleanly shaven one through mistakes.
One much younger looking one now, and another who, shaved, but not as cleanly as this man. You want to pause, or you want to just skip it all the way so that we get to the same point?
I can skip it all the way.
Okay, let's skip it all the way. Let's do that. That brings us to... an invade that we just missed.
Yep, and mine just instantly crashed as I did the skip.
God.
Great fun. Okay.
Well, I can keep you guys updated a little bit because I do have the game here. An invade has come through, of course. Mars with the Blitzcrank landing that hook, and the first kill, Gizmo, went over to Harry in the mid lane.
Okay, well, let's just see how this works with my my production software, because I've been told that the only problem with it is that you have to be in from the start. So we'll see how this works.
Oh boy, well, this is going to be sick.
Okay.
Otherwise, we might have to just go back to the classic, but
it's fun. It's fun.
Anything?
It's fun. It's working. I think right there.
Let's see. Well, either way, I can keep you guys updated a little bit on what is going on right now. Of course, the invade has happened here. It looks like it is actually working. Very nicely done. All it needs is the zoom out, and we are finished. Oh. My stream is stuck a little bit though. I don't know why that is happening now. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're good again. We're good. We're chilling.
It's fun.
Are you also at 2 minutes to 02?
No, I am not. I'm at 1 minute. I'm gonna be on 1 minute 50 in a second. You just link up with the stream and I'll keep it on this.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
This delay looks great. It's fine.
Yeah. It's great. It's fine. We got this.
It's fine because
here we go. Okay, I think we're lined up now.
Yeah, it's fun. As long as we got some stuff going, this is completely fine. Anyway, let's get back onto the game here because we have some good stuff going on here already in this early game. The invade, obviously, of the Blitzcrank team early on is always great to see when that happens.
Yeah, surprising also that the side of Prime Nebula fell for that, considering that it's something that you expect. As now the hook is coming in the bot lane as well. It's a level 1 Jhin right now. Just gets the minion to get that level 2. Smartly done that by Levity. The stun comes down onto Mars, but it's a great trade for Zandiar and Mars.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely brilliant there. Just be able to get that trade off insanely early. I just reorganizing everything so we can get things back on the go. Yeah, I mean, absolutely great early game from the side of Team Tan here. Absolutely just doing bits really just to get on this early game focus when we talked about how important this early game is going to be for them.
I was literally going to say, like, the early game. Well, here comes another hook. Oh, that was a little bit of a spectator bug there, but Mars could be in a tiny bit of trouble. Gets stunned up, has the shield passive, of course, flashes away, but surely will fall to Crown. Now Zandia is completely alone, and Zeri, this early in the game, is just not strong enough. Flash comes out, but a flash follow from Levity, and the bot lane of Nebula suddenly get the lead back.
Yeah, I mean, this is the whole thing we were talking about. The hooks landing. It's that Jizuki effect of when he lands a Q, he's either the best or the worst at the same time, and you only find that when the other person comes to him. And, you know, at that point, you hook too late, the Zeri's not focused on it, and, you know, I think maybe the exhaust could have turned it, but either way, you know, well played on Nebula there just to turn that back on them.
Definitely well done by Prime Nebula. A little bit unfortunate, of course, for the side of Team Tan. They started off so well, got that invade, but Mars, though, very smartly just keeping that wave, making sure that Zandia is going to be able to catch every single one of those. Now, we haven't really been paying too much attention to the junglers, who are going to be a very important factor in this particular game, of course. The Dragon is going to be up in 1 minute, and we already see Slinny towards this bot side. Could potentially, you know, go towards that Gromp and farm it all the way back up to the top side, but it looks to me like he might be looking for a play somewhere in bottom mid.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have Drake coming up soon. I forgot to turn on the objective timers, but there we go. Objective timers are now on. Sorry, I've been focused on a lot of stuff, okay? Either way, you know, we have the jungles pathing down towards this bot side. As we can see, it is a point of contention for both teams. They are really fighting around it, so maybe we will see another fight about to happen as the Drake is going to spawn in about 15 seconds, so we should start to see some fighting going on here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Slinny is going to go towards that top lane, maybe to just leave that for now, or whether he's going to path down towards that bot lane. Now, there is, of course, priority in this mid lane here for Nuffle. We kind of expected the Karma to be able to push an Orianna in, especially early in to the game. Obviously, you know, Orianna managed to get a first kill, but that is really not going to mean too much against someone like a Karma, because Orianna just doesn't have the damage to deal with the Karma early on.
Yeah, but look at that great ward that they've got just next to the Drake there. That was able to spot out the Pike roam. He roamed on a pushing wave just to try and get something to happen for around this Orianna. But never mind, we've seen Hecarim coming in on the top side.
Zephyr has to jump away, has the flash ready, is going to be forced to flash away. The dive could potentially come, but it will be a flash trade by Key and Zephyr in the end. Not too bad here for the top laner of Team Tan.
Yeah, and throughout all of that, the wave was actually able to crash, which was his objective of pushing it in the end. So he gets away very happily there, and the wave is now going to push back to him, so he doesn't actually have to expend the TP to get back to lane. So that's a massive trade in his favor.
Yeah, that's actually, I didn't even think of that. That is really, really nice. And we can even see that Mars now is walking with Slinny towards his top lane. They realize, hey, we got the flash of Key, and getting Zephyr ahead would be incredibly nice here for their team. But it is something that we didn't expect as much, right? We expected Slinny to play around this bot side of the map, but I can imagine if you get this Fiora behind and this Gnar becomes a very strong side laner, you kind of just take one champion out of the game until the very late game.
Yeah, I wonder if this is just, we're going to see the Trinity pulls, but either way.
Oh, that's going to be it. That's the knock-up. That's the hook. There is nothing you can do. Key, the parry comes out, but Zephyr surely will be able to take this one down. One more attack is needed. Oh, the jump away from Key is there, though, but Slinny will just flash it away, making sure that that kill is secured, and it's a kill for the jungler.
Yeah, abusing flash, I mean, couldn't be me, but looks like we're going to see another jungle battle going on here. Using that Fiora
Numbers in a little bit of trouble here. Slinny, of course, still has the Fiora up. But yeah, we see Crown coming in here. There goes Numbers, going to go in right into there with Slinny. But Harry is here, got the ultimate ready. That's a good flash away from the hook. And now Numbers in a little bit of trouble. There is the shotgun coming in, the hook as well. Crown is surely dead. Team Tan are pushing it forward as now I don't know why we're going towards the top lane, but it's because Zephyr just gets a brilliant ult off Key. Just is about to get solo killed. One auto attack needed. The parry is there. It's brilliant. And Key is actually able to get away in the end, but Numbers might be looking for a dive.
Yeah, it is opportune. At this point, he doesn't have 6 though, so this might be a bit harder to pull off. Obviously, no flashes, but it's tempting. But it looks like they're just gonna have to take that reset. Keys is just not healthy enough to make that dive happen. But so much just happened in that fight there. I honestly thought Tan could have gone for more once the vehicle picked up the pike, but had to pull off slightly, and we just got thrown to this top side, which was so close. And now we're seeing a plays in the spot side.
Bot side and into the top side as well. Levity's taking some damage, but I don't think Zandia and Slini have enough damage. There's Key. That's going to be the hook. That's going to be the knock-up. Key is going to fall. Mars is going to take that one.
Yeah, the aftershock, just a little bit unfortunate there, but either way, these roams early have really impacted the map heavily from the supports.
Yeah, it's honestly brilliant to see Team Tân play like this, because Team Tân, you know, we know they like to roam, especially, of course, with Mars, but they aren't necessarily the team that plays the most aggressive early game, and it's not what we expected to see from them when they have, you know, such a good scaling comp. Maybe a part, of course, from that top side, but with that Zeri and the Orianna, and Zeri just being really good against their composition, it's very unexpected, but it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the XP difference that they have gathered in that top side. I mean, the Fiora is so far behind. I mean, let's just open up this XP per play graph.
Oh,
boom!
Beautiful, Gizmo!
Leading into that, we can see that Zephyr has just got quite a massive lead, nearly just a full level advantage here, which is just crazy at this point. Obviously, we're seeing that the support's even, but yeah, it's crazy that they were able just to gather this just through these plays in that top side.
It certainly is, and as a previous top laner myself, I know how important it is to have even, you know, one single level lead in towards that top lane, especially, you know, over a champion like the Fiora, because now look at those items. Already got the Bramble Fast and the plated steel caps completed. That means Fiora is just not going to be able to touch him for a long time now.
Yeah, and that's massive. We're seeing the Hecarim come in behind him, though.
Yeah, there's one way to help touch him. That is if you have a gank, of course. There comes the unstoppable onslaught. Zephyr is in a lot of trouble, and with a jungler gank, that makes it enough for Key to take down Zephyr.
Yeah, luckily the wave should be able to meet it just before the turret happens, so therefore Zephyr might be able to actually TP and save that wave. But yeah, just unfortunate he was just pushing up just in time for the Hecarim to come behind. They should know that Hecarim would just go straight towards his Herald afterwards, hence the starting of Drake from Team Tân.
Yeah, good cross-map play here for the side of Team Tân, just making sure they get at least this Drake, because they know, you know, they lost in the top lane, might as well get some leverage on towards this bot lane. Now, teleporters coming in here from Zeph, of course, needs to make sure to catch this wave and not, you know, lose that lead, that XP lead that he has gained for himself. He's already lost it a little bit now, of course, but still should be able to be fine against Fiora for now, as Mars and Slini are just removing some vision here around this bot side of the map, and you know, it's just going to be a little bit nice for them. Perhaps they can look towards a gank in this bot lane, but honestly, Slini so far, phenomenal play, and he's just been pretty much where he needs to be.
Yeah, just reading the map perfectly. Him and Mars just walking around as a duo really this whole time, and it's been working for them. Obviously, the XP difference has started to rise for Mars, but honestly, the runs that he's pulled off, it's just worth taking that early deficit in the XP lead.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. Oh, sorry?
No, it's okay. The interesting thing will be seeing where Hecarim decides to use this Herald. He is positioned toward bot side, but would you want to put it on that Fiora to try and save that lane? Or do you want to snowball this bot so heavily that they can take over the game?
It's either or to me as well. Yeah, I do think that it would actually be better to put it on someone like Key, because you know, once his Fiora gets going, there's really nothing that Na is going to be able to do. Well, speaking of being able to do, now he can. Look at the damage on Key. He's in so much trouble. Slini is here as well. Key's going to have to back away, and this could be a lot of plays here for the top side.
Yeah, and that's a tank now doing that damage. It's crazy that he's able to pop off that much in this lane. Now we are seeing the Orianna also try and walk up to this, just pushing them off the wave even more so. So now they're able to rescue the plates. Oh, is Key getting a bit too greedy here, though?
Yeah, greedy indeed. Slini is here. Harry is here. Surely Key is going to be in a lot of trouble. Has the parry, but he uses it a little bit too early, and that's going to be an easy kill pickup for Slini. Third kill of the game for him, and top lane is in trouble.
Oh, he might be unlucky here with the fact that the minion's got there, but Blast Cone's there just to save him. Ghost pop, though.
Yeah, might not be enough. The unstoppable onslaught is there. The flash comes in from Slini. Is he going to be able to make it out? I do not think so. Numbers is doing too much damage, and a big shutdown comes to a very scary champion.
Yeah, that's going to be massive for this Hecarim, and he should be able to find Zephyr here as well, pulling him back, but Flash comes in.
Flash comes in, Numbers using the minions there, but that could be a little bit troublesome. Zephyr's actually looking for this, but that might be a bit greedy when you have a Karma right near you. For Nuffle takes a kill down on Zephyr.
And that should be Herald in this top side as well, just completely taken away this tower. Looks like they're taking the reset instead. No, they decided to use this, but Mars is going aggressive on the bot side.
Oh, on the bot side, look at the damage on Levity, just gets blown up, and once again, the Aftershock takes the kill here. It's almost like I'm playing bot lane with you. Unfortunate stuff here for the side of Team Tân, but it is a good kill here on the Jhin.
Yeah, great that they're able to punish that. I'm surprised they're not pushing that wave out as well, just to deny that a little bit more. Instead, they're deciding to move up into this mid lane, try and catch that, but I feel like Sunny would just be able to take that anyway, and then you can just take this bot side, but looks like they're just rotating Zephyr down to this bot side instead. Yeah, it is a shame this Blitzcrank is the one getting the kills, but early support kills are not bad. You know, extra wards, extra, CC abilities can be very useful.
Yeah, and especially on someone like Mars who likes to roam a lot. And, we've seen it this game already. Mars and Slinny are really just in the driver's seat when it comes to this game. And, well, it might not be very significantly that they have got themselves right now. But most importantly, they are the team that have a very strong team fighting prowess. They have the scaling on their side as well. And if we take a quick look at the items, we already see the Trinity Force finished. We see the, I forgot the name of the item for a second. The Divine Sunderer also finished here on Slinny. This is a very, very strong spike for these two.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, let's just have a look at the gold graphs as well, because we have this opportunity. Look at the spikes that we are seeing here. We are seeing some comeback potential from Nebula. Just little spikes of just like where they're able to get these picks happening, and you can see where the gold is on the members. We are seeing more of that focus towards that top side of Team Tân, and that is really important going forward, because if they are able to control the split push, they can force people into these team fights, which is what their comp wants to do.
Yeah, exactly, and it's very difficult to control a split push when you're playing against the Fiora as a Gnar. So having that, XP lead, having that money lead is going to be very important for this Gnar. So we'll see how they're going to be able to use it as Mars, who was looking for a hook over the wall, not able to find numbers. But to be fair, I don't really know if you want to find a Hecarim at this point.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, as we said, there's the Jizuke of the Blitzcrank hooks, but either way, we shall see if they're going to go for it anyway.
Yeah, Mars is going to go right in there, but he's completely on his own. And I think Team Tân say, hold up, I don't like this idea. And that does mean a lot of money has gone over to Prime Nebula.
Yeah, I don't know why we're trying to fight that when you have Zephyr on the top side just pushing this top lane without TP, and you see the 5-man stack there. I feel like Mars was just the sacrificial lamb once he walked in there, knowing that they're all there waiting for that to happen, and now you just have to give up the Infernal because of this.
And it's sad because it's not only is it the second dragon for your team potentially, but it's also an Infernal Dragon, right? Which is a very, very strong dragon, probably considered the strongest dragon at the moment anyway. So, ever since it came out, frankly. So it's unfortunate they have to lose that right now. And it does give more leeway to Prime Nebula to push their lead forward, because this is exactly what they were looking for this whole game. Weren't able to really pursue in so, but perhaps Mars and Slinny can turn it back around, but it's going to be very difficult to chase a Pike and a Swifties Jhin.
Yeah, definitely. They've got so much mobility in this bot lane for a change, which is, complete and utter counter to this Blitzcrank, which is working very well at this point. We saw the early lane phase get slightly punished, but yeah, now they're at this point where they can just walk away faster than the Blitzcrank can walk to you, which is brilliant to see. I wonder if we are going to see contestation for the Herald that will spawn soon. Either way, we are just going to see them go for an invade at this top side. Slinny should be walking up here to be able to see it, and the Orianna TP will mean that they will have mid-prio if they want to contest it, Nick.
It's something that you touched upon a lot, right? How this Hecarim and Karma combo are just able to, go through the jungle and go for those early invaders. Now, Keith could be in a lot of trouble. There's the unstoppable onslaught, but Zephyr has already taken the kill, and now Numbers could be a little bit of trouble.
Orianna, move first.
Ghost ready if needed, but here is Harry. That's going to be a shockwave, and now the Ghost has been popped. Can they take him down before he runs away? The Karma shield is going to give him enough speed, so Numbers will get out, but it's a good kill pickup here for the side of Team Tân, and perhaps it gives them some leeway towards this Herald you were talking about.
Yeah, just that slight miss of the W on the Viego just would have been able to CC chain the Hecarim just long enough that it would have been able to kill him before the Karma got there. Great movement from Harry just to be able to read the play, just to show it wasn't able to punish anything else.
Flash hook coming out from Mars, traded for the Guild Force, and how, in fact, not just that, that's a teleport coming down from Key. I think they thought that would have hit, so a really big cooldown actually blown there by the side of Prime Nebula.
Is that FPX hang? I think it might just be. We are seeing Fiora as well, just deciding this is my lane now. We are seeing the TP up to the top side to contest this Herald. And...
Oh, good dodge there by Harry.
Oh.
Crown not able to hit the hook, and that means Harry is probably going to be able to finish off this turret. Herald has been taken
Look at the
there
hacker
by
path in though.
Slinny.
He's coming behind.
Yeah, he has to be careful now. There is numbers. He has the rep buff. That's a good flash from Harry, but is it going to be enough? Good shockwave as well. Pushes numbers out. Does he have enough though? No, the ultimate from Crown is going to take down the kill, but numbers could be in trouble now. That's going to be a big shutdown in for Slinny. And now Lefty has to be careful. It is a Hecarim that you are chasing you right now, but he should be fine as Valanth is also making his way towards the mid lane. But it's back and forth there as now Crown almost gets hit by a Mars hook, but not just yet.
Yeah, and though that's a 1-for-1, you gotta remember that Pike ult did come through, so that's 900 gold for 300 gold. It is a massive swing towards Nebula there. Absolutely well played. Shame that the Hecarim was able to get caught out on the way back out, but either way, you'll take what you're given, and you have this Hecarim with this Chemtech Manamune build, which is, the thing that the pros are talking about, where it just does so much damage, and you can just always catch people. So once that Mora mana is complete, it will be crazy.
It will be crazy indeed. Now, we are in a little bit of a low state, so let's actually take a quick look at the items, if we potentially can. Well, I would say so. Baki now is looking for this crab. I don't think he's going to be able to get that when there's so many team members of Team Tân over here, but let's take a quick look at the items and also just the general CS, because we see, of course, a little bit of a lead towards this top lane. The bot lane are quite even, and the mid lane, of course, as expected, considering that first free kill, looking pretty decent in Harry's favor. But all in all, very even. But speaking of even, Zephyr now looking for Valanth. Is he going to have the damage to take the Karma down, though? Valanth is looking to run away. The root has come down. Zephyr finds another bolt. Can he find the last one? If the shield turns out, no, he's not going to have the cooldown and the speed for it. So now Herald will be popped towards his bot lane, but this could be a big fight coming in, Gizmo.
Yeah, I mean, the Herald should be able to go down.
Onslaught of Shadows has been popped. The exhaust is there. There is the lightning crash from the Zeri. Do they have the damage to take him down? Slinny is looking for numbers. Can he find him? Yes, he can. That's going to be one kill. A good flash comes out from Key, but it's not going to be enough. The shockwave misses, but it does not matter because Slinny is murdering Prime Nebula. Levity has to try and get out. The hook comes out. Can they kill him? The flash comes over. Slinny's going to stun him. He's going to find another one. Will he die before? So he will. Levity is going to live. Zandia cannot finish that one off. But now Valanth in a little bit of trouble. Mars, does he have the hook? He does. The flash is forced from Valanth, but it's a very, very close but good fight here for Team Tân.
Yeah, 3-for-1 in the end of all of that, and Zephyr wasn't even there. In a 4v5, that is excellent. I've got to say, the MVP of that fight was Slinny. He was able to dodge off out of the Jin's ulti fourth shot and his actual fourth shot twice by using the passive just to be able to dodge out on that. Insanely well played. I mean, it's a shame that they weren't able to get more, but either way, that is a massive gold swing, and they should be able to reset and come towards this Hex take Drake.
God, Hex take Drake, jeez. Well, it is a little bit of a late reset here for I'm Just Harry, of course, because he wanted to take down that mid turret, which means this is actually a prime, no pun intended, opportunity here for Nebula to go for that dragon themselves. That's exactly what they're going to do. And, well, it potentially looks like Slinny's just going to have to give this one up because Crown and Valanth are just keeping him off it.
Yeah, they just moved there faster, and we are seeing the TP coming through for Zephyr, but I think it's just too late to even do anything here. I think that's just a bit of a lax play there from the side of Team Tân, just not being able to react fast enough. But either way, I mean, we are now just seeing them just realize that they've lost this, and just go back to just split, the 1-3-1 technique that we have seen.
Yeah, but it does mean, of course, that there are 2 teleports on Prime Nebula side, and there's no teleports left on the side of Team Tân, so they're gonna have to be a little bit more careful. But, well, we spoke about it before. You saw a lost fight. They didn't even need Zephyr to win that, and now it is going to be Harry and Slinny against Key. Key is going to very soon see that Slinny is nearby, but will be able to run away. Has enough movement speed on that Fiora to get away. But I just want to touch once again on Slinny in this match so far. He has been absolutely exceptional, not only in the early game, but also in that last fight. And definitely looks like the rock that is going to have to keep Team Tân into this game.
Yeah, I mean, he has been playing insane in the series as always, and I would like to see some. Oh, hell, as we talk about how well he's playing, he has to disconnect. Well done, Casticus in a half. Okay, now what I would like to see Team Tân do now, obviously once their jungler reconnects, is I'd like to see them set up some vision ready for this Baron, because though they don't have the TP advantage here, they would be able to draw out some TPs by just just starting up the Baron, and then just leaving it, taking away those TPs, so their TPs will be up faster than the enemies, because at this point they are at that disadvantage where if they go for any bot side play, Baron's free. So we have to see them try and draw out these TPs, and I think that the Baron play is the best opportunity for them.
I definitely think so too, and I think one of the things that's also really important to mention is the fact that the Baron speed of Prime Nebula isn't really that quick. When you look at the team, of course, they have the Jhin, which is one of the slowest Baron doers, at least in the early game, of course, from all the AD carries in existence. You've got the Karma in the mid lane, who also won't really provide too much damage either. So it's really only the Fiora and the Hecarim who are going to be able to do that, but likely they want to push Key towards the side lane. So I think it's actually a really good time for Team Tân to start trying to play around this, because even if Prime Nebula decide to start off this Baron, it is going to take a long time for them to actually take it.
Yeah, and I mean, they have absolutely been popping off in these fights as well, Team Tân. They did just win a 4v5, giving up one member for 3. You think about that situation and you're like, oh, what can we do now? Well, we can make them fight more. We make them come to these objectives to fight them. And though we saw them give up the Drake because of poor reset timings, I want to see them draw them to this Baron. Whilst we are in this lull state, though, we might as well use some of our fun production stuff and draw up the gold tab. Oh, look, it's not working whilst we have a pause. Never mind.
Good to know. That's the test.
That's a shame. But either way, if anyone's in chat, tell us what you think. Okay, never mind. We're back in the game. The gold tab can be started up. And look at the side of Team Tân. We have 4 members that are just so far ahead of all the other ones. The only person that's below most of the team of Prime is that Mars. And he has been roaming this whole time. And though he's taken the kill, somehow he's still behind in gold. We'll just accept that.
Yeah, we'll just accept that. But I actually want to mention also something. Look at the items that we see here, especially the item of Mars. Go for that even shroud. I know you as a support would be very proud of that. On the Blitzcrank though, so Mars really just looking to grab someone and absolutely one-shot them with that extra damage that the even shroud can provide.
Yeah, I do love the even shroud item. I do think on Blitzcrank it's not the best, but either way, if you want to go for that instant burst, it does make a lot of sense. Being able to get that that instant knockup into one-shot potential. But personally, I really like Shurelia's Blitzcrank.
Yeah,
I think it's absolutely insane and underrated. I mean, just being able to chase down anyone you want, it gives you the Pike W even more. And then you're able to put your own W on top of that. It's just crazy catch potential. So I would have preferred to see it out of here, but it's instead decided to be this tanky frontline for his team.
It's not only that, right? I feel like it also would have matched really well against the movement speed composition that we have here from Prime Nebula, right? The Karma movement speed, the Pike movement speed, and of course the Hecarim. I feel like having a Shurai's against that would have meant that you might have been able to either outrun them or also have an easier time engaging and disengaging. But Mars, had planned to go for this even shroud, and well, if he hooks that, it is definitely going to work. There's the lightning crash, but here is the Hecarim already. That is going to be Mars taken down by Crown. Now Zendia has to run away. He's going to have enough movement speed. Good dodge there on the Jhin W, but it isn't going to be enough to get away. Numbers will take that one down, and this could be a Baron here for Prime Nebula.
Yeah, they have sustained to do it, but they will take a while on this. Sorry, I was coughing. Never mind. We shall see them try and go back in for this. I think that the tank can be able to poke them out here. It will take them a long time to be able to do this, and you do still have the Orianna Shockwave, and Slenny is really good at stealing these, so should start to see them try and go in here. If Zephyr is able to get up his Mega, it would be a very good here for them.
Well, yeah, look at this. The Baron is just taking down numbers at this point. We talked about it before, how slow they were, and it is showing right now. Zephyr potentially looking for an engage, but Prime Nebula, even though it's almost a 3v5 at this point, they just have to back off. They don't have the speed or the health to play around this Baron right now. It's Key looking for potential engage. Zephyr is here. Key is already used. That's all the W, but there's numbers going to be stunned up. It's only Key, Zephyr right now on his own.
Is here though as well.
Flash away. Is going to be able to use the blast, going to get over if he wants to, is going to use it, but also the shadows. There goes Numbers, is going in completely on his own, gets stunned down by Slinny. Can Slinny find that kill on the Hecarim? He just needs one more Q and an auto attack. The Karma shield is not going to be there in time, and now Slinny can look for the chase.
More.
They have to be a lot careful here. That's going to be a very big Hecarim in the middle of the team. Going to just ultimate out away there. Slaney does not get rooted out. And Harry not going to be able to find a shockwave.
And that should be
so
Baron.
it ends up just being a 1-for-1, but potentially Team Tan could turn towards the Baron here, Gizmo.
Yeah, they got so much more burst on this. Harry does seem to be getting caught here, but he does have his team to back him up. I think they can just rotate straight onto this Baron. You know, have Hecarim in 13 seconds. You have a team that can do it fast. It's that, or do you want to prep for this Drake coming up? I feel like I draw them to this Baron, seeing how well these team fights are going. But looks like they're deciding to go for this Hextech Drake instead.
I mean, we talked about how good of a team fighting comp the side of Team Tan has. They have the pick potential with someone like Mars, and they just have the extreme team fight power of a Zeri, an Orianna, and of course the Gnar. Zephyr, it was quite unfortunate that he was so alone there, because, you know, if they could have, you know, made that look a little bit better, had the team on the same page, that meant that perhaps that team fight would have been much more into Team Tan's favor. But right now, they're just setting up for the Drake. But I'm a little bit worried, Gizmo, because they have not backed, whereas the side of Prime Nebula have backed, so that gives them a little bit of an item advantage potentially.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit, but you know, 10 are up that slight bit extra, and they do have the comp that is better for bursting through this top comp of Prime, which is more, you know, lasting longer in these team fights, stalling just that little bit more. So we should see some stuff come out. It looks like they're just going to rotate into this mid lane, try and stop them from getting this tower.
Oh, Mask will be looking for Rogue. That's going to be Crown. He is going to be blown up. Zandiar gets his second kill of the game, and that's going to be a prime opportunity to go for that Drake without any problems.
Unintended there, so yep, should just be straight onto this Drake here. Free as it comes, really. We are seeing Hecarim on top side just taking away as many camps, knowing that it's over from being able to take away this Drake. So yeah, maybe we should see him try and clear some of this Baron vision out as well whilst he's in the area. But either way, you know, that is a great call from the side of Team Tan, just being able to stop them from being able to get that tower and still rely on getting that Drake as well. Crazy.
Yeah, Mars showing that this even Shroud pick really is working out right now. I obviously, they probably didn't need it to kill Crown over there, but, you know, his pick is working out right now. And I think something like this and having that Blitzcrank against a composition that is so slow at doing neutral objectives is even stronger, right? Because, you know, perhaps if they had like a really strong AD carry, let's say they had a quick hitting AD carry like an Aphelios or a Jinx right now, and also a quick hitting mid laner, they would have maybe been able to just trade that Dragon for a Baron, or made sure that the side of Team Tan weren't able to do the Baron. But because they are so slow, Team Tan can just kill one member and just do whatever they want.
Yeah, and I would like to point out that Blitzcrank is also building Frozen Heart, which is
Oh, you're just not getting it away if you get hooked.
well, it reduces attack speed, and they've got a Jhin. I don't think it's useful at all. But
well, it is obviously more, I think so, more so towards the Hecarim and the Fiora, right? It's maybe not optimal, but
okay. Yeah, either way, you know, we are seeing them just get this push in this mid lane, rotate it over to the Baron is what I'm going to assume that is going to happen. They do have some, no, they don't have a TP advantage at all, my bad. But they should just be able to engage on any fight that they like, really, at this point as Team Tan.
oh, in the bot lane, we might see a fight between Zephyr and Key. Let's see who wins it out right now. Looks like Key is starting to come back, right? Of course, has the Blade of the Rune King finish, which is the perfect item for dueling purposes. Zephyr now, though, Big Gnar is already popped. So if there's any time for Prime Nebula to look for something, it could potentially be now. But again, like, them starting off the Baron is only going to just take damage for them because they are just not fast enough. And now Key waiting to potentially look for Zephyr here. The Q is on a longer cooldown though. The ultimates are going to be traded by these top laners. So yeah, not really much going on. It looks like either or are just looking to get themselves a lead, get their team into a better position to look for this neutral objective, but they just can't really find the opportunities.
Yeah, and if you're Zephyr there, you just take that because by the time you get back up to using like a Max Gnar, your ulti is always back up, so you might as well just use it whilst you have it, you know? So that's completely fair trade there. A little bit more annoying for the Fiora, who could burst through the Gnar in mini form, but either way, you know, you're happy to take that trade on the side lane, and now Zephyr just gets access to that wave just to set up a push, so now he actually can just roam up for, I don't know, like 30, 40 seconds and join his team. Maybe he can test that Baron point.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's take a quick look at the Goldcraft, mainly because look at how incredibly close it is, Gizmo. It is 49k gold to 48.7. It is so incredibly close, and you can just see how it has fluctuated up and down, up and down. Team Tan in the lead for the most of this game, but Prime Nebula just don't seem to be giving up at all, and now it has become so incredibly close. But we talked about this in the draft, right? If it comes down to team fighting, it being this close is so much better for the side of Team Tan, as now in the bot lane we might see a fight. Zephyr taking a lot of damage from Key, is forced to flash. Key is going to get the solo bolo in the bot lane, and that could be troublesome for Team Tan.
Yeah, there is an opportunity now to approach this Baron, even if it's just a bait in Team Tan. I think it's an option you might want to take here when they are down this member.
Gizmo.
It is slow, but it is the opportune point that you have here. Obviously, you have that Karma that will help you sustain through it, as long as the shields are on the people that are tanking it here. And without that Fura, I think it's impossible to start the Barons. I feel like this is the only opportunity you'll have just to roam her up to do it.
Yeah, well, they are not really going to take the chance to go for that Baron. And at this point, it is 1 minute until the Dragon. And it seems like both these teams have kind of resigned to looking for that objective potentially, preferably rather. So we're going to see that fifth Dragon rather being played over. Now, it's not the most important Dragon just yet, but it will put you on soul point. And for a team like Prime Nebula, it honestly feels like they need an extra winning condition like that, because the split pushing, it's starting to work out a little bit more. You know, we've seen Key already solo kill Zephyr here. If Key can continue to do that, it could be troublesome here, but, you know, we'll see how they're going to be able to do it, because so far, I feel like Team Tan are still in a pretty good position.
Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about here is that they haven't been able to set up any sort of vision line here for this Drake.
Yeah.
I think Mars hasn't reset in about 2 minutes and was able to use all of his wards before that, so really in a bad situation ward-wise, but they're just going to trade this on the top side instead.
Key could be in trouble here. Maybe he can jump over towards the side. No, that's going to be a flash. Slindy's going to pick up that kill. Key is dead, and now potentially the Dragon going to be started by Prime Nebula, but I was going to say, they can just trade it for the Baron potentially.
Yeah, giving up soul point for a Baron, I feel like that's worth it here, but are they going to be able to roam up in time to contest it here? This is the problem. Is that Hecarim going to be able to get there in time? You have really fast moving members there, and you are missing the Orianna damage. They should be able to contest this at about 3k.
Look at Harry and Mars. Mars not going to land the hook, but Harry is still standing there. They don't know it. Now they do know, though. Here comes the curtain call. Going to do a lot of work here against this Baron. Numbers is on the top side. They don't actually know he's there. Mars going to flash over. He really doesn't want this Hecarim to get in there. The hook is not going to work. And the steal comes out from... Oh, Zephyr gets a nice Narov, but it's going to be enough damage. Look at Zandia. He is doing so much damage on the Seri. He is moving. He's moving. It's a double kill for the Pike, but Zandia is still alive. Can he find kills? He's found a shutdown. That's going to be one kill. The movement speed is there. The W is not going to hit, but Crown could be in trouble. As Zandia flashes away, that's going to be another shutdown. Can he fight more? Guy has joined. That's going to be 2 TPs coming in. Zandia looking for the third kill. Is going to find it. That's the triple kill. Guy is going to finish him off, though, and in the end, Prime Nebula win out on the fight.
Yeah, absolutely crazy fight there. You know, just Mars just unable to lock up the Hecarim for long enough to stop that Baron contention. I feel like it's easier just to stay in the pit and just play for that R silence that would have stopped the Smite being able to come through. But either way, you know, we are only seeing one Baron on the side of Prime after all of that, just on this Karma. Probably the worst person for it to be on. You would probably want it to be on that Fura, but either way, it was a great chance for Tan to extend their lead. But either way, Prime's now taking the lead point here. So now what are we going to see here from them? How are they going to use this Baron? They have the soul point now as well, so Tan have to draw to fight them.
They really, really do, and my goodness, what a fight that was. And what we talked about, how Team Tân have the stronger team fighting composition, but right there, it did not look like it. And to me, it seems like that was mainly because of the fact that they were so focused on trying to keep numbers out of the pit, of course, and it did just not work for Mars, which means the support wasn't there. Again, good ult from Zephyr, but no follow-up, excuse me. So it just seems like every time they try to find those plays, Team Tân are just not really on the same page right now.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the gold lead that has extended here, but Harry might just be caught out on the bottom side.
Oh, Key does so much damage. That's going to be the parry coming in. Harry is dead, and Slinny, I don't know if he's going to be able to take down this Fiora. Key is doing so much damage. He's healing.
His team's coming as well.
Infinitely at this point. Slinny is about to get double killed by Key. That is going to be a GA pop. Look at that shield. It is honestly ridiculous. Slinny, nowhere to go. That's going to be a death. And now Zephyr looking to be ganked here, but Crown actually going a little bit too deep there. Zephyr just needs a singular hit to kill the Pike. But can he find it? No, he cannot. It's a disaster for Team Tân because their turrets are also falling down. And right now, Prime Nebula are looking to push this towards a victory.
Yeah, we are seeing Zanya coming in on the spot side, but Hecarim's going in for the ulti.
Oh, Mars just gets exploded there by numbers. Key is on a rampage, 6 and 6. This guy was 1 and 5 on the Fiora at the beginning of this game, and right now Prime Nebula have found a prime opportunity to take the first game of the series.
Yeah, and this is a best of 5, and it has been this back and forth. I mean, a 35-minute game that's still going. Like, it's still nail-bitingly close when you look at the gold lead. Yes, it doesn't look super close, but that is just the Pike gold lead expanding that as well. You've got to bear that in mind. And, you know, it is just craziness that is happening here. You know, Tan had the lead for so long, and just that one Baron play has put them behind.
Yeah, and now this dragon is going to be coming up in 1 minute, and now because of the fact that Prime Nebula have also been able to get this soul point, this is an extremely important dragon to fight over. It is the Hextech Soul, which is one of the strongest souls right now. So we'll see what Team Tan are going to be able to do, because what do you think, Gizmo, that Team Tan really need to do in order to prepare themselves for the fight that could potentially fight in the game? Well, this could be one of the ways, though. Key is going to be very difficult to actually catch. The slow is not going to land there, but the shockwave will land. Key surely is going to fall. The shutdown comes down to the Zeri, but in the mid lane, Mars has been caught out, and Crown will take that one down. They're going to be looking for the turret, and the dragon is going to be next.
Yeah, they are able to get the kill on the top side. That Fiora has been a bane of their life, really, in this game, but either way, they should not have either. They shouldn't have the Fiora for this fight, and Mars will be able to respawn slightly earlier and maybe get his way there if the fight continues for a little bit longer. But either way, without those walls, you are walking into this blind at this point.
Ooh, well, imagine if that went over. Well, it probably wouldn't be too bad. Celine, of course, has the flash, but having the flash for this fight is going to be relatively, well, actually just quite crucial here. But look at the strength. Look at the tankiness of the horse.
Remember, Key has TP here, so when he does respawn, is he going to TP into this fight, or is he going to TP to that top side? We shall see. If this fight continues, he should just be able to TP straight in here.
Yeah, it's a 4v5 for now. A 4v4 obviously for now, but if he TP's in, it will be a 4v5. Mars, though, is on his way to come back. There's going to be the TP. Zephyr is mega gnar right now. Could be looking for an engage. It's going to find it. That's going to be the stun. That's going to be a big shockwave. They got the first kill on the AD carry. This could be it, but look at Key in the backline doing so much damage. The horse is not looking good right now, but Key is completely on his own. Team Tan, have they found the fight that they want? No! Key is going crazy. That's going to be 2 kills. That's going to be a triple kill. Key is better kill. Steal that one away, but it's a brilliant fight by the Fiora of Prime Nebula. Zephyr has nowhere to go now. It's just trying to run away, but look at the shield. Look at the damage. It's an ace for Prime Nebula.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. That TP from the Fiora was just, you just have to track that. You know that the timer is going to be coming back up. You know she's respawning soon, so you have to be careful of that. And then the team fight was just, it was like almost a perfect situation from Tan with the engage, but you just left the game too late, and the Fiora has now scaled back up when she was out of the game, and now can just walk through your team.
The damage just was not there. This is the team fight that they were looking for, Gizmo, but it is just too little, too late. And now the mid lane inhibitor is down. This dragon is certainly going to go over towards Prime Nebula, which means they are going to have, Team Tan are going to have to face a Soul and a Baron that is up as well. So right now, it looks dire for the Esports Worlds team.
Yeah, and you've got to bear in mind that Hextech Drake is really scary into a Zeri, right? Because the slow that is applied really breaks Zeri's kit, so that's going to be really scary for them. I wonder if they are just going to force them towards this Baron. Now, when they do have this Fiora there, they should have a bit more of a Baron burst than previously, so we might be able to see them try and force Team Tan into a fight here.
And Team Tan are looking to match this, as we can see already. They are trying to clear down some vision to make sure that at least their position around this Baron isn't as bad as it could be. The red buff likely going to be given away, of course, to Zandia. And it feels like Zandia is really going to be the one who's going to have to carry these fights. Of course, it was a brilliant shockwave there from Harry, but even that wasn't enough. And this Zeri, though, it just needs time to really get going. And I feel like time is not on their side right now.
Yeah, they are just falling that so far behind, and you know, I gotta say, this Karma pick is really showing up massive. We are seeing these huge heals come through, and we're seeing the side of Tan opt into getting this healing reduction, when realistically, I feel like all you need is like one Serpent's Fang, and this Karma will just be in a load of trouble here.
I feel like a service bang would be especially strong right now on, of course, the Zeri, because you have the power of that Titanic Hydra and the Runan's Hurricane that is just going to be make it so much easier to proc that that weapon. But right now, Crown looking for a hook isn't going to find it. That could have been very disastrous for Team Tan. Slinny really wants that wall. I was a little bit greedy there, but he was going to be able to find it. But now it is time to set up for this Baron. The mid lane is permanently pushed, of course, towards the side of Team Tan. And the question is, how long can they hold off? Because Key is looking towards this bot lane.
Yeah, just look at how scary that ward is, though, from the side of Team 10 at the back of that Baron pit. Just putting that in trouble, they're just knowing a Blitzcrank could be behind it just to hook you over is so scary. So it is crazy well played there. But either way, it looks like Hecarim's just going to say, you know what, we'll stick a ward over and just clear it anyway. The thing that I want to touch on...
Hecarim!
The thing I want to touch on is the XP lead that has just sort of exploded from the side of Prime here. We'll just bring up the X... Oh, that's Plague Gold. That should be XP. Never mind. We'll go with whatever. Never mind. Either way, you know, the XP lead has sort of... Yep. The XP lead has sort of exploded from the side of Prime here. You know, having these massive leads on their solo lane. I mean, Jhin is max level, and so is Karma here. I mean, crazy.
Yeah, it is absolutely crazy indeed. And, well, we talked about how scary it would be if a Fiora would end up exploding, because this guy was 1-5, is 10-7 now. Almost got himself a pentakill in the last fight. Unofficial quarter for sure. So... oh, there's going to be the hook here from Mars. Maybe an onslaught of shadows could be forced away here from the Hecarim. That is going to be a very big ultimate taken away. And look at the burn damage. He almost actually faltered to it. And that now means Team Tan can finally potentially make a move towards this Baron.
Yeah, but look at that mid wave. And they burnt the Nars TP in that fight, just trying to force something afterwards. It was a nice hook into a nice play, but unable to secure the kill just means that they can't make anything happen after.
Oh, Mars was looking for it, and this is really what he has to do. He has to find a magical hook, because otherwise they're going to be in a lot of trouble. And speaking of trouble, Slitty now, also his ultimate, the Heartbreaker, is forced, which means both junglers have traded their ultimates, but the Onslaught of Shadows is going to be up in a second.
Yeah, and now seeing where the side of Team Tan is, they should just be able to walk in here, just get some vision in their red side jungle, and just fall back onto this Baron here.
Yeah, that is exactly what they are going to do. Prime Nebula in a very good position here. They have the vision control. They have the setup. Everything is looking perfect for them. And right now, Zephyr is trying to stop Key, but he's also not going to be able to do that alone for too long. And because of the teleport advantage, it looks nearly impossible for the side of Team Tan to try and steal this. But now, look at the hook. Look at Crown. Looking for a hook there. It's going to fight Mars. It's going to get himself in, but it's going to get hooked right out. That could be a kill here. Crown is not going to die, and the shield is so big. But here is Slitty. Can he get the Trap Baron steal? It's going to be a very important one. If he can find it, he won't, because it is the Jhin who's going to take it down. And now Mars gets taken down. And suddenly it looks like a disaster for Team Tan. Harry is just being chased as Mars has just died.
Yeah, has
That is going to be PG Key getting that easy kill. Another kill into the Baron pit. And Zandia does not have the damage, does not have the movement speed, and neither does Zephyr. It's a really good flash to try and get himself out of harm's way for now, but that's an easy ace. It will be an easy base, and Prime Nebula will get themselves 1-0 ahead of Team Tan.
Yeah, and going into the best of 3, how do you recover after this game? Because it was just absolute domination towards the end of this game, you know. Tan were able to last out a long time. I thought, honestly, their comp was better in this late game, but just the leaking XP, not catching the correct wave, just led to the situation where Prime were just massively far ahead and just came into that Baron fight. I feel like that coin flip did, you know, go on the side of Prime maybe a bit too heavily there, and just sort of lost them most of the game. You know, they gave up a lot of tempo and a Drake for that, and then still lost it. It was just, I feel like that's what sort of lost it for them.
Yeah, it was just rough, and it felt like, you know, loads of the times, well, my camera is just not having a great time, but it felt like loads of the times Team Tan, you know, they were grouping, they were doing what they needed to do as a team, because they had this team fighting composition, but they just weren't able to find those perfect plays, those perfect team fights that you really need to find when you have the Orianna, when you have the Zeri, who can really dish out that damage in a longer team fight setting. And, you know, also the Gnar, of course, the ultimate, they were good, but there was just really no follow-up. And I got to give a little bit of extra props, because we haven't talked about him all game almost. Vanofo on that Karma, just a very, very clean game.
Yeah.
Really made almost zero mistakes. Wasn't called out ever. Wasn't called like Hooks. Just always safe, making sure that he was able to shield his team at every single moment in time.
Yeah, I mean, those shields in those late game did come through massively. I mean, you're able to speed up that Hecarim to get those engages, which you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. And yeah, it did work out insanely well for them. I would like to see Tan try and adapt their playstyle to try and counter this, or maybe put Harry on the Seraphine because I know that they like to play that if this does come back out. But obviously, it was a flex pick. It was a bit hard to predict, but either way, and really big props to them because that karma did sort of save them in that mid game team fights, being able to sustain so heavily.
Yeah, it definitely did. And I think one of the things that I specifically want to mention that we'll talk about a little bit more when we get into the next draft is the fact that the side of Team Tan used their counter pick to kind of just uncounter pick themselves, right? Because they picked into a Fiora, but it didn't really counter pick it. They just played something that was going to be safe and was going to be quote unquote fine. But I feel like Team Tan, they have to be a little bit more aggressive when it comes to this draft to really make sure that they get themselves a lead somewhere rather than just, handshake together with Prime Nebula.
Yeah, I mean the Gnar into the Fiora they did punish very well early,
Yeah.
using that range advantage, which we do like to see Zephyr take. But yeah, definitely, I feel like the counter pick didn't translate into that late game. It is a very early game counter pick, and yeah, they just were very sloppy with it mid game, and the Fiora just catched up so effectively to the point where the Fiora just overtook the Gnar and just you couldn't sit on that side lane. So maybe if you're going to do it again, you want something that is that more side lane dominant, just to be able to match that if you are able to punish it super heavily.
We'll see if that's what Team Tan are going to be able to do. Prime Nebula have won the first game out of this best of 5. Can they look for the next one, or will Team Tan make a return? Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Game 2 very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the esports, but welcome back rather to the
Welcome
esports
back.
wheels channel. Yeah, welcome back. But this is not just the start because Prime Nebula have just taken down Team Tan in game one of this best of 5 in the losers round 2. Everything is on the line here for both these teams because the loser will be out, completely out of this tournament to try and get themselves to Division 1. So we had quite the banger of a game, Gizmo, and if all
Yep.
the games are going to be like this, we have quite the banger of a series on our hands.
And quite a long one, I might add. We are
Oh
talking
yeah,
like, a 40-something minute game. I think it's like
yeah,
45 minute. Kind of crazy at this level. Lots of back and forth. Gold graph was going up and down, like, like,
yeah.
like a seismometer, really. Complete and utter craziness that happened in that game. Some great engages from the side of Team Tan early on, but then just got completely run over by Nebula's late game shot calling and XP lead that they gathered through a great Baron steal, I will say.
Oh, that Baron Steel was probably, well, that was certainly rather the moment that turned everything
Yeah.
around. Because ever since then, every single fight, Team Tan has been kind of looking on the uprise, right? Like they were close fights because even in those fights that Team Tan won, they weren't really on the same page. We never really saw the ultimates of the Na and the Shockwave just connect together and really make
Yeah.
something big happen. So I feel like the one fight that it did happen, it was after that Baron Steel, and it was just already too late.
Oh, transitioning into draft, but draft's not working somehow. Interesting. Never mind. Don't worry, we'll get it working now. But yeah, should just refresh. Okay, well, it looks like that draft's not working this time around. We'll just throw it into the old-fashioned draft.
Hey, there we go. Back to the old fashioned. I don't know why I'm sounding excited for this. Obviously, it's
It's
not necessarily very exciting, but hey,
it's
what
nowhere
works,
near as
works,
clean,
right?
but if it works, it works. I don't know
Exactly.
what happens with the draft function, but yeah, randomly it decided to bug. Well, that's fun. Either way, we are getting into draft here. We are seeing the same bands coming through here as well we expected, really. We are seeing the Volibear come through again. I expect to see the Trundle, the next one. We are seeing the Playmakers getting taken away. The Hecarim, which was such a nuisance in the first game, is getting taken away from the hands of numbers.
Yeah, I think it's a strong ban because I feel like Hecarim, as I said before, of course, it's literally the strongest jungler at the moment,
Yeah.
especially in solo queue. It is S plus 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 there. You can't even add enough pluses to that. So really good ban here. Trundle is going to be the same ban here for the side of Prime. And I feel like it's fine for them to go with the exact same bans, right? They got this first game win. They have the lead. They can just,
Ooh.
say, hey, we're going to go for the same bans. And well, the side of Team Tan are really just taking away the picks of the last game.
Yeah, I mean that combo was a massive pain in
Yeah.
that
Oh,
first
yeah.
game. That shields, that the ability that they always had prior in that lane, it is good to take it away this early. Looks like the Zeri is getting taken away from that safe lane that Zaniel was able to gather for himself, but the Jinx is taking up this time. Remember the first time round we did see Tan ban out the ADC of Levity, I think it was, just banning out the Ezreal and the Jinx first time round as he played 3 champions and the other one was Jhin. So they took out
Yep.
as many as they could, and the Jhin still managed to be impactful in that late game. So happy to see that they're deciding, you know what, we'll just take a swap away from that and ban out people that were heavy impact, and it's the Ezreal that's picked up here with the Diana.
Yeah, very interesting pick, the Ezreal. I understand, obviously, that it is the most comfortable pick here for Levity in general. But I feel like Jhin is such a nice matchup into the Jinx anyway, so it would be a very good pick to take here. But it looks like the side of Prime Nebula say, no, we're going to go for, obviously, Levity's favorite champion. Go for that Ezreal. By far his most played champion as well. And, well,
Ooh.
Selini, we haven't seen this in a while because he tends to go for something like the Xin Zhao, go for the Java, but he's pulling out the Lee Sin. We're going all the way, and this is going to be an epic series already, Gizmo.
Yeah, I mean, as a Lee Sin expert myself, with a 5% win rate over 20 games, I can tell you that Lee Sin is great into Diana. Simply because you're able to kick her out of every time that she does her massive engage, which is brilliant, okay?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with like the Xin Zhao ulti, but the ulti of Xin Zhao is, more necessary that you have to always have it on, and if you auto-attack her, you can't auto and kick her out. So the Lee Sin's more consistent to be able to get that disengage on that Diana, which is great. Okay, we are seeing the Blitzcrank picked up again, which sort of has a different function. We could see some fun with the kicking it into a hook. That could be interesting. But yeah, we are seeing the Mars go back onto that Blitzcrank. Obviously, in the first game, he had some great moments early on, but going into that later stage, it did start to struggle with the XP.
Yeah, it definitely did. And well, we'll see if they're going to be able to do that a little bit better now. As once again, we're getting towards the bans. It's going to be the same kind of bans it looks like so far, at least. This time, once again, though, Fiora taking away.
You're
Team Tan really just almost, at this point, banned the entire composition that they were playing with last game. So now, Akali, we haven't seen that banned or picked in the last game. So interesting ban coming out here for the side of Prime Nebula. Now, let's see what Zephyr is going to take as their last ban. I do expect it just to once again go towards the top lane. And it's going to be interesting to see what Prime Nebula will do in this situation, right? Because we obviously saw the Orianna come out for the side of Team Tan last game, just going for that safe mid lane pick. This is a good opportunity for Prime Nebula to do the same, but we'll see if they do.
Yeah, they got some great ultis off on that Orianna as well. Harry did really good with positioning that ball in those team fights. Obviously, the Gnar knockup really did help. Looks like the Corki's going to be locked in. I expect to see the Victor counter here, just because we know how much Harry likes to play that, and it does tend to have an okay lane phase into that Corki. So, yeah, I think that will be the pick that we will see locked in. It is Comfort. Again, we are talking about Comfort at this level of league. Is just that much more important. But never mind, he's hovering the LeBlanc saying, you know what, I want to be the carry. After a game versus Enchanter, why not go for it? Assassin, I probably would have gone for that Victor, control mage style for him. But either way, he's saying he wants to step up in this best of 5. Maybe save the Victor for a bit later.
And I don't really mind it, because I feel like going for a more early game oriented pick like the LeBlanc is pretty strong now, because you already have the Jinx, you already have the hard scaling towards the bot lane. If you also put that towards the mid lane, it makes your bot side of the map really weak in the early game, makes it really difficult to challenge for anything. Though the Shen, of course, is something amazing, especially with the LeBlanc, but also just, when you have a hyper carry in the bot lane, and it's Sandy out playing it, you are in a very, very good shape with the Shen. Pretty safe pick as well. You might just get a really rough lane against you, though. We'll see what the side of Prime Nebula are going to pick against it. But I do like this comp a little bit more than the last comp that Team Tan picked for them.
Is it going to be like an Enchanter combo style? Because we do know that he likes to go towards those. I would expect it, but...
Oh! Whoa,
Okay. That nearly got risky then. The Tryndamere hover. Ooh, scary. That R button. No, it looks like it's going to be the Camille instant lockdown ability to chain CCE to be able to let Diana come up to that top side. The ulti will be useful late game in locking down that LeBlanc. A really good pick it into that Shen. You can go the Grasp into the Divine Sunderer. That means that you should just be able to win out on that lane. But of course, playing against a Shen, it's not about lane. Shen can just press R and just all of a sudden being a team fight. He doesn't have to play around these TP timers that are so important. He can just press his R button and surprise with a massive shield. Of course, we are seeing though Prime with this late game comp. They will have this late game poke of the Corki Ezreal just thrown over, and then they have the team fight of the Diana Braum Camille style, which should just be enough to last out, right? And when we talk about the last game we are having, this adjustment in this series, we had a 45-minute game, so going for this later game scaling comp probably makes sense here. This is a good adjustment here from their coaches.
Yeah, I think it's very cleverly done here by Prime Nebula. And I kind of respect what Team Tan are trying to do here as well, right? Because they have gone for a more early game focused, and you still have the Jinx in the bot lane to make sure, like, hey, if we get to that very late game, we do still have a hyper carry who is able to run down team fights once you get one of those resets. I would obviously know. But I'm going to be very interested to see how Team Tan are going to play around this, because last game, despite having the more scaling composition, they went for very hyper-aggressive early game plays. And not only went for them, they worked out. And, well, right now, they've got the actual comp for it as well. So they don't only want to do it, they need to do it.
Yeah, and it's the whole thing of being able to complete that once you get that early lead. They had it in the last game, and they had the later game scaling comp, but they just threw, and then all of a sudden, they just gave the other people just a wallet to slap them with, really. So realistically, if you are going for this early game focus from Tan, you're saying, you know what, last game was a fluke. We want to smash you early, and I want to look out for Mars on these roams. First game, he really impacted Key's early game, really being able to try and take him out of that lane phase. But honestly, Keys came back late game swinging, so you have to put that prio into the right lanes that will just take them out of the game.
Yeah. For sure, absolutely. And I do feel like this is a so much better opportunity for Team Tan to do exactly that. And now, they have actually opted to pick for something like the LeBlanc. And this is kind of why I like the pick, because yes, the Victor would have been really nice into the Corki. It would have been a very safe and sound pick there. But I like this LeBlanc for Harry, because it means that Harry is going to have much more impact towards this early game, right? Obviously, if he doesn't fall horribly behind for whatever reason that would be, but I feel like this is needed for Team Tan, because Harry has been one of the most consistent, if not the most consistent player on their team. This guy on the LeBlanc, on the Victor, even on the Orianna, even though last game, wasn't really able to show too much, but still didn't have a terrible game by any means. It's just been so incredibly good, and I feel like they need someone like Harry to really step up on a pick like the LeBlanc to get themselves back into the series.
Definitely, and I mean, he is picking that comfort. We have seen it in series where he is just Mr. Hiding Bush. He just stays there, counts them out, and then all of a sudden your ADC's one shot, your jungler's one shot. And looking at the side of Prime, he has some great targets there just to be able to burst through. I mean, a Corki, if he is able to land that chain CC on him, completely can just get destroyed there. So he's, that late game carry is opportune for LeBlanc there, just being able just to hide in those team fights. And also then you just have a Jinx just firing over the top of that, just with a massive shield provided by the Shen. So you have some upsides from the side of Team Tan here.
You definitely do have upsides, and we're going to get ourselves into the game very, very quickly. Now, hopefully, it'll work just as well as it worked for me before. I think it will. I'm not going to say anything, because Caster Curse might also work on the League line. Who knows
fun.
at this point?
It's fun. I said the production was going well and that the new software was working perfectly. And the first draft
that
just instantly just went, no. We refuse to work here. So sorry about that, but maybe next time I've restarted the software, so I'm hoping it'll work for next time, so we get some fancy graphics back. In the meantime,
sure it's going to be perfect, Gizmo. I'm sure.
In the meantime, we are getting into this game slowly. Hopefully, we don't have another Riot bug where it does this thing where it just goes black screen and we just can't do anything for a couple minutes. That is a pain, but either way, whilst I'm here, I can talk about some fun runes and stuff whilst I kick my camera yet again.
Having a great day today, aren't you, buddy?
Yep. You wouldn't believe it.
Certainly not. After all those kicks the mic has received, I feel like the mic is having the worst day here, if anything. But please continue.
It's nearly as bad as the lighting that's going on here. Either way, the Corki has this first strike build that is going on. Obviously, we have seen people build this more often around the world. It tends to peak around level 6, where you're able to be able to send off those rockets non-stop, be able to get that cash in whenever you do so. That is the point where I'm expecting it to be useful. Before then, I feel like that rune is just completely out of the game into this LeBlanc. She just will be able to Q you from range before you're able to land anything on them. So that rune, you have to see that scaling coming in late game. And of course, I am already into the game with a black screen yet again.
Oh yeah,
yes.
I was going to
Let's
say
go.
Oh, the League line really loves us. I was going to say today, but no, the League line just in general truly loves us.
Transition
so, we'll just expect it in again. Yeah, we do apologize for starting those games a
and
little
you're
bit
frozen
later
as well,
we
so it's brilliant.
Oh, well, luckily I was frozen on a smile. Oh, no, this is a bit of a different freeze. Yeah,
it's fine.
Let's not talk
it's
about
fine.
the specifics of that
it's
one.
Fine.
But we're back in.
You got to be prepared for what gets thrown at you here. So, this is what happens when you talk about a company that's going to release another Lux skin. Is the client comes second, skins first, client second.
You say client second. I'm sure the client hasn't even come 8th in the last I don't know how many years. So I don't really know, but either way, still, let's just take the competition. Let's take it a little bit serious here, because obviously, if anything, things going wrong with the client allows us for a little bit more time to actually talk about specific matches, specific composition. It's working for me now, and I think it's also working for you. So I'm just gonna speed it up all the way to the max. I should be on the exact same point as you. No, I'm not. I'm way further ahead.
What?
Do you want to do the quick old pause again?
Yeah, well, you can see the time. Just see the time. It's fine. I just had some production issues again. The software was a little bit bugged, but it's okay. It's working now.
It's okay.
And we're seeing the counters to the invade. They did last time because, they picked Braum because it's the strongest level 1 support in the game. Probably champion against this Blitzcrank, which but they were able to go for this invade on the top side. Should be able to get some nice wards to take an early reset. Maybe ward and get sweeper could be kind of nice here when you have this free reign in their jungle, but deciding not to put down a single ward here. I guess it's Lee Sin,
quite
but
interesting.
you know.
Yeah, it makes a little bit of sense, but still, you know, having that ward, having that information, I feel like it's always worth to get, even if you are a Lee Sin,
Even if you don't reset for
one of your potential ganks. Yeah,
not resetting for the sweeper there. I think it's just worth the get.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, looks like Prime have just put a ward in their own chicken just in case, and they're both clearing up to topside. We did see a lot of plays happen in this topside early on in the last game, so it makes a lot of sense to see this happening again when you have an Ezreal Braum in the bot lane. You really can't play around that early.
Yeah, very defensive start here from both teams, and I feel like it's understandable from both sides as well. Of course, you're playing against the Blitzcrank, you don't really want to do anything crazy, and as a Blitzcrank, you're playing against the Braum. As you said, it's one of the strongest, if not the strongest, level 1 champions in the game. But something that I want to mention is obviously both these junglers are deciding to start on the same side. This is very different from what we've seen in the first game, and we can already see that Slinny is not deciding to go for a full clear, so might be looking towards an early gank.
Yeah, a buff to Gromp into blue. Really just skipping out on his chickens there, just trying to prioritize however much HP he can gain just to go up to this top side early. Whereas Diana, we're just seeing just a normal full clear out of, so by the time they're able to come up to this top side, it will be, you know, far behind on this clear. Slinny should just be able to walk up straight after this camp here and just get prior.
Yeah, looks like that's probably going to be what he is going to do now. The ward has been placed over the wall. I really like that ward from Harry, just making sure that they know exactly where Diana is, right? Because that ward practically does the same as an early ward from the Lee Sin would have done, but now Lee Sin does have that ward to play around with. So I think this is a really clever ward here by Harry. They got the information. They know that Diana is on the red right now, and we might see an early play coming in. Oh,
well, it was a nice flash there.
Flash. Yeah, very brilliantly done, but here it is. The smite is coming into this red buff. The Q goes wide from Slinny. They won't be able to catch out numbers, but, you know, they got the information, but it's kind of good here for the side of Prime Nebula.
Yeah, massive. You know, the XP. Look at the farm. He's down 2 camps on Diana, and now Diana does have free reign to walk up to this top side, get a gank off, and then go down to get the scuttle after. Does Zephyr know?
Oh, Zephyr does not know. Flash is ready, but is it going to be enough to get out of it? I don't think it is, so Zephyr's just going to leave it. First blood goes over to numbers, as in the mid lane, Valanth takes a bit of damage, but a very good start here by Prime Nebula. Yeah,
this jungle has just really got the best of Slinny when in the last game Slinny was all over numbers there, so a really good adjustment there, and I gotta say, it just came from them just trying to go for that red buff take when realistically, sometimes it's just safer just to back off and just farm up.
Yeah, but I do understand it, right? I do understand it from Team Tân because you want to get that early lead. You want to really take out numbers out of the game very early on. But now that that failed, and now that the top lane has also managed to find a lead, it's going to be very difficult for them to keep this up because it's almost the opposite of last game, right? Because Team Tân last game wanted to work towards that late game, didn't want to have a necessarily strong early game. It wouldn't have mattered that much. This time they do, and they just kind of are falling behind a little bit in this early game, whereas last time they didn't need it and they were getting ahead.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely crazy really when you think about it, but either way they are massively ahead here, and the jungle pressure should be starting to be seen, especially when you consider Diana normally is just a power farm till 6 jungler, and they are able to get that early gank off here. I wonder what lane they're going to try and affect. I think maybe you just want to go to this LeBlanc lane, just try and make something happen there, but it's so hard to lock down that lane. The poke on Mars this lane is going to be a pain to walk up to as Mars just sitting on this ward.
Yeah, and like, how difficult is it to gank this, right? Because you even got an Ezreal who just arcane shifts right out of the hook, and there is really nothing you can do about that. So you can see how Slinny is desperately trying to look for something towards this bot lane. We'll see if he's going to be able to find it, as Mars is already taking so much damage here. There is the arcane shift forward, and there is the Q from Crown, and with a gank, they still lose it out. That's a kill for Crown.
Yeah, Mars just stepping up just a little bit too much. I think Slinny could have W'd him to try and save him there from the Braum Q, but either way, you know, really well played from the side of Prime there just to punish that overextension.
Yeah, absolutely. As in the top lane, we might see a little bit of a fight. I think yours is also lagging a little bit. That's probably maybe because of a pause, or
I want to say a pause.
That be back in.
It should just be a minor second pause, but either way, you know, great to see them just pause in action whilst they're flying through the air. Zephyr's just trying to push this wave for dear life, really, just knowing that Diana could be in this area. And look at Diana's pathing, just saying, you know what? This wave is prime for me to come up here.
Yep, and it's prime for Zephyr to die. He does have the flash up this time. The Taunt's going to get him far away. The Hawk is actually going to land on Levity. The Arcane Shift is going to get him away. But that at least forced out something. But yeah, again, like, you lose your Ignite. What do they really get? They have a perfect freezer in the bot lane, but they also don't really use that. And right now, they're just forced to push and really look for something. It's looking a little bit dire this early on already, Gizmo.
Yeah, but look, and even just look at the top side. The Camille is able just to freeze this massive wave that Zephyr was pushing, and you know, he doesn't have TP, he doesn't have flash. Though he was able to escape from dying, at this point, you know, he needs a good death to be able to stop that from being frozen even more. And you know, this Camille is just going to snowball ahead, and we saw how well Keys is able to play this late game as Harry's getting caught out in this mid lane.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of damage. Valanth has the ultimate. That goes wide, so that means Harry will be able to get out safely. But yeah, you talked about it. The level 6, that is going to be where this rune choice of Valanth shines. And we're seeing exactly that as now Slini looking for a gank towards the top lane. This will be a very nice kill because Zephyr has been in trouble in this lane all his life.
Yeah, but the wave, like, Camille doesn't have to step up to this wave and has flash and hookshot as well. Like, I feel like this gank is just so hard to pull off without kick on Lee. It's just going to be impossible. Never mind, Key's going
well, it's
forward.
going to be a little bit easier, but the Sonic Wave goes wide. Do they still have enough damage to take down Key? You said he has the flash. Is he going to use it, though? He doesn't even need to use it. And the gank goes wrong. Another Sonic Wave goes wide. And at this point, Slini is just going to help out Zephyr to push this wave in.
But the wave doesn't even crash.
It's still not even going to get it. It's a disaster, Gizmo. It's a disaster.
After all of that, like, at least try and get that wave to crash. If that wave crashes, at least they've rescued something. But instead, you trade Drake. You wasted time with your jungler, and you're still going to be down 30 CS in that top side because of this freeze that is being kept perfectly by Keys.
And this is the risk of picking a champion like the Lee Sin, because Lee Sin needs to explode in the early game, and they went for those plays, but all of the plays so far for Team Tân have failed. This is like the exact contrast of the last game. As now in the mid lane, though, once again the Sonic Wave goes wide. Does it mean Valanth lives? It does, and it just couldn't get any worse, Gizmo.
Yeah, that's looking like my 5% win rate, at least in there. I can tell you that for sure. But then again, I can
tell you that too.
I normally get quite a lot of kills in the early game. Just late games where my problem is. Either way, you know, it was a close attempt there. Just a shame that you just don't wait for that kick to go through. I know it is sometimes a bit funky with how it acts, but it looks like Harry might have just caught this Diana. But Slane just doesn't want to commit onto this, knowing that he doesn't have the damage to follow through after.
Yeah, you need the Sonic Wave. You also need the Dragon Kick, and if you don't have either of those, there's just nothing that you can do. And slowly but surely, Prime Nebula are getting themselves into a very significant lead. It's already 2,500 at 9 minutes into the game. And you might think, well, that is not that significant. But it really is when you are the team who are scaling harder.
Yeah, we can just put the gold grab here. Whilst we got a stalemate here, Keys just trying and force something under here, no? But yeah, look at the gold lead. Like, it's just crazy how fast that's accelerated there. And yeah, I just don't see how Tanner is just going to be able to get back into this early game without just a massive teamfight wipe.
Yeah, they are going to definitely need that. And, well, I feel like the play around the mid lane from Slini was very clever. Like, you're trying to get that LeBlanc ahead, because at this point, it does seem like it is one of their winning conditions, right? Zandia Shaw is farming up nicely, is doing all right towards the spot lane, and will be a menace later on. But I don't know if a Jinx alone is going to cut it when you're facing against a Diana and a Camille, who are so difficult to deal with as the Jinx. And on top of that, you need to deal your damage against the Toki and Ezreal, who have so much range. Yeah, this is an interesting play here from Slini. They're going for this, but the whole side, the whole team of Prime Nebula are looking to challenge it.
Yeah, and Zephyr's nowhere near, so this is just going to be a full-on collapse here.
The hook comes in, the ultimate from Shen is there, but Slini is going to die before it. No, he will be able to live. That's going to be a kick. Is the damage there? No, it is not, because now the Shen is going to fall as well. The shockwave, well, it looks like a shockwave, but that's not a shockwave. That is the Diana ultimate, but either way, he's doing a lot of damage, and Prime Nebula are just dominating this fight. Harry has to flash away, but where are you going? You are going to the enemy jungle. Might be able to look for a back here, but that was a very risky play, and it totally did not pay off.
Yeah, but Harry, look at how he's playing in this bush. You might be able to find Brom here. Never mind the blast cone just to get out. It'll be fine.
Crown,
Ooh,
oh well,
really well
he
played,
said
but
he was going to be out. He will be able to get out, but look at this now. In the mid lane, free farm for Valanth gets himself an easy plate, and also this wave that is crashed. Luckily, Harry will be able to catch most of it, but
yeah, that was.
Gizmo, it feels like it's just a complete contrast of the last game. They're trying so hard, but this time they can't find anything.
Yeah, looks like they just got a rule book that they're just following like a step-by-step guide, and if nothing goes ahead, they just skip to the next step. They're just trying to force that Herald. When, you know, you have no topside pressure, their junglers ahead, and you don't see their support on the map. They reset at the same time as you. You've got to know that they're going to contest that. But yeah, it looks like that we might see some fighting going on the top side. We are seeing some roams from the support and jungler coming up to the top side as well.
Masters roams have been working out in the last game, but this is a flash trade, and even though you think, oh, that is quite nice, you know, the flash from the top lane and for the flash from the support, I feel like in a game like this, you needed that gank to work out. You needed that 150 gold shutdown on one of the members who can actually, you know, propel that into a lead, because right now, yes, you got the flash, but a flash isn't going to cut it, and a missed hook right there isn't either.
Yeah, and especially when you talk about a Camille who has a hook shot as well. They do know that Blitzcrank is missing here. You know, you have that Braum sitting on the bot side as well. So they should... I mean, they got a ward on this Herald as well, so they know that they're starting this up. Now, do you really want to see another play like this? I think, you know, if they're able to get mid-power here very easily from the Corki, they should just be able to walk up and contest this Herald, but looks like Camille's supposed to take a reset instead.
Oh, well, we're going to see a potential Herald challenge here anyway. No, it looks like they're just going to push towards this top side. I don't even know if they... well, they have the clue, but yeah, the Herald is just going to be easily taken here by the side of Team Tân. And at least, you know, they get themselves something. Perhaps they can leverage this into a lead for either that bot lane or, of course, the mid lane LeBlanc.
Yeah, I mean, it never hurts to have a Fed Jinx, but looks like the die's going to come through.
Well, it
Oh,
does
nice
hurt
flash.
to have a dead Jinx, but is she going to be dead? Yes, she will be. That's going to be a kill picked up by Levity, but it will be traded for Crown. Harry does miss the chain, but I don't think it's going to matter. He even gets the flash in the end. That's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but when you look at the wave that is being lost, it's definitely something that Prime Nebula are fine with.
Yeah, I mean, you're just able to crash that, just starve this Jinx out in that bot side, who is that hyper carry late game assurance. And, you know, it does put Tân in a really awkward situation where they're not normally behind at this point, so yeah, I'm going to see maybe an engage coming in here. Look where the Dyna's going to go for.
Yeah, Lefty has already jumped in. Once again, the Sonic Wave goes wide. It's just not really Slinny's game so far. There is the ultimate. There is the package. Can they get the taunt? No, they cannot. And Mars in the backline is already going to die. Now, Valanth has to flash away. He has no team behind him at the moment. I'm just Harry will take him down. Can they fight more? Flash is going to be forced there by numbers. And now Crown has entered the fray. But I don't think they want to look for this fight because Zandia now has also come in. So a good trade in the end by Team Tân, which what looked like to not actually be a good fight for them.
Yeah, but Camille was able to get a plating at least top lane and two waves to herself. Luckily, Zephyr TP's back up, but they will have TP advantage now in that top side.
Yes, Linny going a little bit deep, just got bursted down by Levity and realized, oh, you know what, never mind, I'm not going to deal with this at all. Key though gets taunted under the turret, but Zephyr at this point just does not have the damage to really deal with this. And well, you know, Key could actually potentially look for a dive. You can see that he's hungry for it because he knows how fed they are, but that in the meanwhile, that means the dragon will be taken by numbers, and it's just not the early game that Team Tân are hoping for, and Prime Nebula are making a prime example of how you take down an early game team.
That was such a stretch there. Sorry, I just
was,
gotta call you out. That
look,
was
okay,
that was
calm.
terrible. Okay, I'm sorry.
I've been out of the business a while as well. Okay, like you gotta give me some slack.
No, none for you. Talking about slack, Tân needs some to get back into this game here. Nebula just needs to step off of it just slightly, but looks like, you know, Key's going to try and force him onto Harry here.
Yeah, that is going to be an easy setup. Harry can't really get away. You talked about how Camille is so good at setting up that kill, and it's a killing spree for Key in the top lane.
Absolute great run there, just punishing Harry for just using his W ulti forwards as well. And looks like the Herald can be put on this bot side. Try and get this Jinx back into the game somehow, but look at what you're missing on that mid side. The Cookie's just getting free reign to hit that tower. Probably just going to be able to take that one down before this Herald even charges.
Yeah, well,
maybe I was mistaken, but
be the case. But that's a good hook here by Mars. Finally, he finds the hook that he needs to find. That's going to be a kill going over to the Licindo, and this really feels like my flex games with you, Gizmo, because this would be the prime opportunity to give Zandia that kill. But unfortunately, it will be going to Slinny. But hopefully, he can actually make use of that.
Yep, and you're just trying to sneak Prime into every sentence you can at this point.
I
But
don't even
either
mean
way,
to. I don't even mean to. It's
it's
just
just
it's
one of
just
those
part of my
fallbacks.
normal vocabulary at this point. Like
Either
it's
way,
just sunken in there.
I will say it was a great idea for the Dino to invade there. Whilst they were able to see this Lee Sin on that bot side, I wonder if the is going to try and come up behind Harry here. You know, you will be able to see him show on this way, but with Corki just deciding to farm some vision out here, probably not going to go for that play, just get that reset in. We do have Drake in 3 minutes. I wonder if we are going to see any setup here from Team Tan. You know, this is going to be sole point from the side of Prime. This would be the best opportunity that they have to force a fight.
Yeah, it would definitely be, and perhaps, you know, Mars can use his primal instincts to look for one of those hooks that he found in the last game a lot. I know you hate me right now. And, well, speaking of hooks, he is looking for one now, but the vision is going to make it easy for Crown and Levity to make sure that they're going to be able to walk out of that, as I just feel Gizmo on the other side facepalming himself right now. But we can see the junglers are just making sure that the wards are gone. It is going to be a top lane dive at this point, it looks like. Can they find it though? Because it is a really big shutdown on Key, but this guy is so strong. So here we go. Mars, can he find the hook? He's just going to walk up, get that knock up. That's going to be a lot of damage on him. Flashes away, but in the bot lane, Zandia is called out. He is definitely going to fall. Can he get the return kill though? No, he cannot. And Key doesn't fall because Crown has already come to turn it around. As now Harry on that LeBlanc. He is so terrifying on this champion. Can he find the kill on numbers? He does not find a kill. It's a disaster. As now the hook comes out on Crown. It is fighting on both sides of the map, and it is actually Mars who falls first. Zephyr is going to fall next. It's an absolute disaster. Can they still get Key, or will Key get the triple kill? The triple kill it is.
He is absolutely mental in that play, just able to turn that one back on them. They were up there for so long, and he just so fed at this point with that Trinity Force just doing so much damage when they're all stacked up at that point. Primer just winning all across the map, and then the Jinx Rocket comes through, bringing them back down to earth. That massive shutdown.
Yeah, it's just so beautiful to see Gizmo. It just makes me happy inside. What a beautiful ultimate coming in from Zandia, and well, we might be shrubbing over it a little bit, but that is a really important kill for Zandia.
Definitely. I mean, we just saw him get choked out in that bot side by that Diana, just diving him under that tower. That 900 gold, I think it was in the end, maybe he got upgrades to that 1k, will definitely make him feel so much better having that in his back pocket. Maybe being able to help him match up to this Ezreal's gold lead, and at least give him something ready for this Drake fight in 40 seconds.
Yeah, hopefully so. That means he would have to back real quickly and use that money, because right now Ezreal is 2 full items on the Jinx, of course. You got the kill force, and that's basically what it is. Oh no, you don't want to. You don't want to. You know Mars would look for these kinds of hooks, and he would find those, but he would just end up dying himself. As now Harry, though, has found the chain on numbers, but I don't think he knew that numbers was even there, so not going to be able to find that catch, which means, yeah, it looks like Prime Nebula are going to have the upper hand when it comes to this dragon, and it will get them on sole point if they find it.
Yeah, and it's so hard for Tan to walk into this poke comp that they have. I mean, Camille's not even there, but if the Corki walks in now, it's going to be so hard. That damage is just going to be insane, just firing that over the top. Yes, Harry's able to dash in, get that control. That is big for them here, just to be able to get some vision on this, but never mind. Looks like they're just conceding it. Just say, you know what, we'll just wait for Camille to reset, get some items, and then TP back in.
Yeah, this could be a finished item here for the Camille coming in. There it is. That's the Ravenous Hydra, and that is a big engage coming in, but that's not looking looking good for them right now. That's a kill on the mid lane immediately. Zandia tries to get out. He will die to Levity, and that's even worse. Here's the Camille. It's a big moonfall. Double kill goes to the Ezreal. That is going to be another kill for Key. Zephyr is in trouble. Levity, though, taking so much damage from the turret. That's going to be a big shutdown for him. But in the end, it is Team Tan who will fall to the wrath. That is the Camille. Slinny, though, with the happy bee, is going to be able to fly away for now. But look at Key. He is just so fast. The hookshot has so much range. The W is going to slow him for long enough, and Slinny will die. The ace is here for Prime Nebula, and the dragon will be debuted.
Yeah, you can run, but you can't hide from Key in this game. Absolutely popping off on this top lane pick, when considering in the last game he wasn't even able to play it early game. This time he's showing why they had to put that pressure on him in that first game. Absolutely crazy play for him. Great call on the back to reset to get that full item, and it did wonders in that team fight. Just able to burst through everyone so fast.
Yeah, and considering what we've seen from Key when he was behind and came back and how terrifying he was, the fact that he's this strong right now means that we are probably going to be seeing one of the most terrifying top laners we have casted in a while. Key, brilliant performance here, but I don't want to just put it on Key. I also want to say, of course, numbers with that early game, being able to escape that pressure from Slinny and I'm just Harry has been able to just completely get his team on the front foot and is in prime opportunity. I'm going to say it again. Yes, yes. And I wanted to do it because I know it pisses you off. But to take this game, obviously. But right now, Slinny is looking for this crab. But that could be troublesome because here is Key. Once again, Harry jumps over to try and get away. But the ultimate comes there. Slinny will be able to use the Dragon Kick to get away. However, so Harry and Slinny able to get out safely. But this Baron could be there for the taking.
Yeah, I mean, they could just force it onto them, but they have no rush. But look at the Braum getting cut off.
That's a good hook from Mars. That's exactly what they need. It might not be the most important target, but it's a target nonetheless. Crown goes down, and Zandia gets himself another kill. As now Key could be in trouble. Mars flashes on. This could be a very big kill. It's a 300 gold shutdown. It is once again Zandia dealing so much damage. The shutdown goes through the Jinx, and Team Tân are magically finding ways back into this game.
I'm seeing pings on Baron. Can we start Baron here? I think they have the opportunity. You see Corki bot lane, but it looks like they're just going to try and collapse onto this Ezreal instead. Split decisions there. They're going back and forth.
Oh, they have to be careful. This could be a very big moonfall. There is the exhaust. The moonfall has gone down. Zandia is going to fall down, and it's just a mid lane at AD carry show because Valanth and Levity just demolish the side of Team Tân, and what looked to be good turned out worse.
Is exhaust even a thing at this point? I'm sorry. That was so funny to watch. Just a Blitzcrank running up to a Diana, just instantly one shot, and then the exhaust just does nothing. I honestly think it would have just been better just to call that Baron, just say, you know what, we'll just pull them to us instead of running it into their terrain. I think it would have been the better call for them in the long run. I think, you know, Slinny is quite good with those smites, being able to kick out the Diana and stuff. But either way, great pickup there from Prime. Mars might be just caught out here.
Levity's fancying this, and well, it makes sense because he gets himself the kill, but now Mars in a 1v1 with Levity! Ultimates have been on point from Zandia, and in the end, I definitely say that's worth.
American Sniper? Where?
Oh, yes, he is, because this guy has been absolutely on point with those ultimates. It's like his name is Toki all of a sudden.
I wouldn't say that. He's just too good for that. But either way, you know, he is deciding to go into this IE's third item. I personally prefer LDR here. I think it would make more sense, especially when you're talking about bursting through this Camille. I do like the rapid fire choice into the Corki, but otherwise, you know, I think it makes some sense having that damage just be able to scale, but I think, you know, LDR's just better here. But overall, I am looking to see where they pull them for this Baron. Obviously, we have Drake coming up as well for Soul. If you're Prime, do you just try and force them to try and go to this Drake and you just take Baron instead? We saw Prime get away with doing that in the last game, and we see it again.
Zandia almost in a lot of trouble there. Manages to get himself out of harm's way. And now look at the Diana. Ooh, Harry respected it, of course. But oh, the damage from Key is just ridiculous. That is just a singular secondary Q from the Camille. And it just shows how far ahead this guy is. And you just have to respect him. Jinx is not going to be able to silent against him because the Camille will just one-shot him on the turret.
Yeah, that's a prime example to the key to success there. Just
Good job, Gizmo. Applauded. Applauded.
Thank you. No, I mean, just that Camille, if he gets onto that backline, the shred is just going to be insane, and you have to just watch out and track this person, and I don't think that there's a way for you to deal with them at this point.
Slinny looking for Crown, but he's completely on his own. Harry is there, but does he have enough damage to follow this up? The chain is there, and it looks like he and Crown are going to respect the fact that the vision control is not in their favor. Now, this dragon is coming up. It is the soul point. It is a complete soul for the side of Prime Nebula. Question is,
the soul, that's so good.
I'm going to fight for this. Oh, the ultimate is brilliant. It stops Slinny's back, and it just buys him so much more time.
Yeah, he's going to be walking in now as the Drake spawns. It's going to put him so far behind. He has to wait to even heal up. He's not even going to heal up all the way.
Good trade.
I mean, Mars is pinging for the Baron. They're trying to call this again, but I feel like your comp isn't going to be able to burst it fast enough, and they will be able to react. I think Corki has package. I wasn't tracking it. I am mistaken. I don't know.
Oh.
Corki has package. No?
Prime Nebula don't want this to happen. They're going to just let Key solo take it with the teleport and go for this potential fight. Levity and Valanth have come. The The package is at the ready. I don't think the side of Team Tân can do this.
Watch
How long
number
are they
smite.
going to be able to keep it up here? Because Key is working on that dragon. It is almost dead. That's going to be a sword they're going to have to fight against. It is 4,000 HP on this Baron. They're going to have to take it down now, or they're going to have to run away. 2,000. The dragon is taken down. The big shields are coming in. There's the teleport. Can they take down the Baron at least? Yes, they can. But the fight is not looking in their favor because they're getting absolutely exploded from left, right, center, top, and bottom. Zephyr gets exploded in the backline, and it's just Harry left. And right now, it's just nobody left. A triple kill and a clean ace for Prime Nebula.
Yeah, and look at the mid wave. It's perfect position for them just to end the game off of this single play. I think it was just Tan just over-aggressing, just thinking that they had the right to try and take that. And then just numbers just making just such a great engage, and Key's just being on point this game. Looks like there might be a split decision here whether or not to go for the end, with Corki pushing this top lane. Never mind, they're committing for it. I like to see this in a game. I think it's a super aggressive thing to call, but I like it.
I like it indeed. Well, can they do anything? That's a 4-man silence. Zandia, can he find one of the resets? Can he get it? That could be a reset on Diana, but his damage is so much. Crucial Barrage goes wide. Can they find one kill? Zandia needs it right now, but Key is there to try and take him down. That is going to be a first kill on Selini. And here is the reset. Zandia, can he do it? No, he cannot. The damage is just too much. A double kill from Harry, though. Is he going to be able to turn this around magically? It is a double kill as well for Levity. And it's Harry against the world, but the world is not in his favor right now. Harry just has to walk away, is able to juke them out for now, but what more than a Q from Ezreal to take down the base, and that is the game number 2 taken here by Prime Nebula.
Yeah, absolutely crazy in that game. That is game 2 of this series. It is a best of 5 after all, so how do you recover as Tan into that game? We saw in the first game that it was a lot closer back and forth. This game, utter domination from the side of Prime. Absolutely insane job by Key just to be able to get those top lane. I think at one point it was a 1v3 and then Crown came up to that top side just to flip it back. Absolutely well played by him. Just absolutely carrying his team across the finish line, really.
Yeah, just brilliant play, honestly, from the whole team, because I feel like also numbers on that jungle role, just being able to withstand the early pressure and then coming back to carry his team as well, so strong. And then Levity on that Ezreal. I mean, you know, I saw a graph not too long ago about the LCK. You might have seen it too, about the LCK players of the year. I think also players of the split. It has never ever been in the history of ever an AD carry player. So I feel like they need to deserve a little bit of that love. Levity also playing such a fantastic game on the Ezreal, just really making once again sure that he is not caught at all and being able to dish out that damage. This was just, I'm going to say it, Gizmo. I am going to say it.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm going to say it.
I will say that there were some shortcomings from the side of Team Tan's comp. Just taking away from that, I will say that they really didn't, get the counter picks that they wanted. I mean, you put this LeBlanc against the Corki. I didn't really see the lane impact that was there. And Prime just got away with so much in this game. I feel like the Ezreal was just so well picked into that Blitzcrank, just completely shutting Mars down. And I like the Braum as a counter for the heavy engage. And yeah, just really well played from the side of Prime.
Well, I think the worst part about the Ezreal was the fact that Ezreal was picked before the Blitzcrank. So it was actually one of those things where Mars was so confident on that Blitzcrank, probably to go for those roams and, get those plays elsewhere.
It worked so well in the first game.
It just didn't work out. Yeah, it worked out brilliantly in the first game. And that's why I mean, it was such a contrast with the first game, because everything worked out for Team Tân in the first game except their fights. And this game, honestly, just nothing worked out for them.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we'll see some adjustment in the draft for this third and final game here. Just really try.
Potentially.
Well, maybe. Sorry. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Don't you just throw on the bus like that, Mr. Gizmo.
It's a long day. Okay, I'm exhausted.
That's been a long day.
I woke up at 4 p.m. No. No. So honestly, I think that they just need to adjust this draft so they can get past this third game. I feel like they need to pick more of something into their comp instead of just picking for comfort here, because it was only a best of 3, apparently. Oh, it'd be misinformed, I guess.
Wow. Well, that's a very unexciting ending to to this cast then, because yeah, we were both prepared for a best of three, a best of five, excuse me. Wow, yeah. So unfortunately, that does actually mean
Yeah.
that Team Tan are out of the playoffs here. They managed to win the first match, but unfortunately are not going to be able to take down Prime Nebula here in losers
Yeah.
round two, which Gizmo, I think it's unfortunate because especially based on that first game, I definitely think Team Tan at least didn't have to go to 0 here.
Yeah, we saw some sparks of greatness in that first game. We really did. It was just a
Certainly.
matter of just stalling out too much for the XP lead and the goal just to catch up. I think the Baron steal sort of flipped it quite a lot. The XP that they gained back was massive. And just being able to then just to allow that split push from Key afterwards on that Furo, after the recovery that they were able to gain was massive, right? And I feel like with just a little bit of adjustment, they could have come back and just popped off.
But unfortunately, it wasn't enough for the side of Team Tan this time around. So we will not be following them into the rest of the playoffs because unfortunately they are out. But of course, you can follow the rest of the playoffs on the Valanth League channel as well. And hopefully we'll be back here soon for a cast as well. But for now, that is going to be it. Unfortunately, we didn't think it would be, but it is going to be it here from myself, Tokisaki, and of course, Gizmo. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Extra props to Mr. Gizmo for this amazing production. He had to do two things at once, and I know how difficult that is. So extra props to this guy. But thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one. Have a great night, sleep well, and peace.